What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture. You name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts unsolicited. Nobody cares. And if somebody cares, I'll probably get canceled. And I got a special guest with me. Jake Wade, son, what's the business?
Yo,
Yo.
happy before Labor Day or whatever.
That's right. It is. That's right. It is Labor Day weekend. So happy Labor Day. Do people say happy Labor Day?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing you should be happy about.
Yeah, it's a day off. So, happy lazy day. Shit.
Well, some people, they work on Labor Day, and it's weird they call it Labor Day and people are off. You should probably work on Labor Day.
Yeah, but it's time and a half, though. So, folks out there trying to get that loot. You know what I mean? Folks got
That's
to
right.
eat, man. So, you know. But that's an oxymoron, isn't it? Because, everybody can't not work on Labor Day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
it's supposed to be a celebration of people, of everybody who does work. But at the
but
same time,
but it seems like the folks who are at the bottom of the caste system have to work, whereas the folks who don't need a day off get the day off, right?
that's right. That's right.
So if you're the third shift cashier at Winn Dixie, Labor Day ain't doing shit for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you gotta watch out. It's actually bad luck to work on Labor Day, and
Now I thought it was bad luck to wear white after Labor Day.
I don't know. I don't care about that. I guess to women, I don't know.
Yeah, I never understood that one either, man. What do you do if you boss hog? You know,
You wear black.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's fucked
Or
up.
maybe, because he ate so much, he'd be covered in, like, barbecue sauce or something, so it wouldn't matter.
Well, if anybody doesn't know who Boss Hog is, then that you're showing you're a millennial probably who never watched the Dukes of Hazzard, which got canceled. so
Yeah.
so that's part of our discussion today. Is that was a good segue, man. That wasn't even on purpose. You know what I mean? But that was a nice segue into today's conversation, which is cancel culture. What is cancel culture? We're gonna talk a little bit about cancel culture. That's a millennial term. That's a term that 20, 30 years ago you never even thought of because it didn't exist. So it just shows you how time has metamorphosized. Is that a word? Metamorphosized?
Metamorphosed.
Yeah, metamorphosed into something else where there's just a whole new language, lingo, thought process, mantra, whatever you want to call it, that old folks are never going to get used to, but young folks, are using ad nauseum. So, now, do you want the definition of cancel culture? Or what is your definition of cancel culture?
I don't know if I have a definition of it because I know what it used to be before it became the political term. But what it once was, I guess, was you know, hmm, it was essentially not paying attention to, not giving a platform to people who are problematic, you know, and pretty much
That's
that's
one
what
way
it
to
is.
put it.
Hmm?
That's one way to put it. That's a careful way to put it.
I mean, that's what I would say. If you have somebody out there who's obviously problematic in many ways, or however many ways, you don't want to give them a voice. You don't want to. You don't want to keep supporting them and whatever they're doing. You want to make sure people know this dude is, or this woman or whatever is not worth listening to. Forget them. They're canceled. That's what I would say.
Okay. I mean, because that's not the definition, but that's your definition, and you're spot on with that, I think. But if you want to go by the actual definition, is cancel culture is a phrase contemporary to the late 2010s, early 2020s, used to refer to a form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of the social or professional circles, whether it be online, social media, or in person. Those subject to this ostracism are said to have been canceled. The expression cancel culture has mostly negative connotations and is used in debates on free speech and censorship. That is I guess, the official definition of cancel culture. It is basically censorship, circa 2022. What are your thoughts now?
Um, well, circa 2022, sure. But black people have been using the term canceled for at least 10 years.
Of course.
And, it was essentially what I said. We don't pay attention to this person anymore because they said some dumb stuff.
Yep.
So,
I mean, there's been a form of cancel culture in our society for as long as society's been around. We just call different things like censorship or blackball, terms like that. You know what I mean? But now this is just, I guess a more PC term, and also it's something that I think everybody's kind of just latched on to. What are your thoughts?
Sure, but I think people have latched on to it for different reasons and for the wrong reasons, and now it doesn't really mean a whole lot of anything because people just say it.
Now it's a buzzword. I mean, it's a dog whistle. You know what I mean? And it's a word that has been weaponized. And is used as a form of leverage, so to speak, against me, you, everybody. I mean, anybody and everybody. You and I could be canceled based on what we say on this fucking show for that reason.
And probably will happen, yes.
But the problem is, nobody cares what we say because we're not famous, we ain't got no money, we ain't got no power. So it's harder for us to get canceled because nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But if you're LeBron James, you say the same shit I say, then you can get canceled. You know what I mean? Or if you step on stage at the Oscars and slap the shit out of somebody, you can get canceled.
And for good reason.
Yeah. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Is cancel culture, and in all of its insidious forms. But where I'm going to start is, because when you hear the word cancel culture, you always think about somebody in the public eye, in the public spotlight, obviously, that they has to pay the price for opening their big mouth and saying some stupid shit that they shouldn't be saying, that may have been cool to say 30 years ago at parties, but now everybody got a phone, everybody got access, so those same shits that you said back then everybody laughed about and was cool with, you can't fucking say now. All right. So what I did was I did a little research. I did a little internet research, which is dangerous in itself. And I Googled canceled celebrities. And I came up with a list. There's a list of 12 celebrities that got canceled in 2021. So I use that as the basis of my research. And what we're going to do is, just for the sake of centralizing our conversation, we'll centralize it on celebrities. Because that's who everybody cares about anyway. Nobody cares about what the third grade substitute teacher said. So a class full of students. Nobody cares.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. And I'm gonna tell a story about that in a little bit. But staying on track, we're gonna talk about famous people first that got canceled, and we'll kind of just piggyback off of that. What are your thoughts before I get started? Any whatsoever?
Not really. I think as it goes, anybody can be canceled, and people care a whole lot about what celebrities say and do. But at the same time, the same person who nobody cared about, who was problematic years ago, nobody cared that he said it. If he ever ended up in the public eye, that will come back to haunt him.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah.
That's something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is, once again, we're going to discuss this list of 12 celebrities that got canceled in 2021, and we'll also talk about celebrities out there who maybe should be canceled, or the most likely candidates for cancellation moving forward. So I think it'll make for a fun conversation. Anyways, here we fucking go. All right, excuse me for saying fuck, but so don't cancel me for saying fuck. But here we fucking go. All right, number one on the list is Chris Noth, or Noth. Are you familiar with Chris Noth, or Noth? N-O-T-H?
As far as I know, that's the guy from Sex and the City. That's all I know.
Correctamundo, as Fonz would say. Correctamundo. Yes, he is the gentleman who played Mr. Big on Sex and the City. That's his claim to fame. He also was on Law and Order, the Law and Order series, also Law and Order, Criminal Intent. So he's been an actor on television and in movies for quite some time, and he is a very well recognized face in those celebrity circles. Well, it turns out that he got canceled last year when there were sexual assault charges made against him by a couple of young starlets that he encountered at various stages of his career as a powerful TV personality. Um, he actually lost his oh, somebody's called me, but I'm going to ignore that. He actually lost a lucrative endorsement deal with Peloton, which is huge because everybody's got, everybody's grandma got a Peloton now. And so he got canceled there. And he also got fired he was on a TV show that's on CBS now called The Equalizer with Queen Latifah. He got fired from that show as well. Now, of course, he denied all the allegations, saying that the encounters that he had with these women were consensual and that they never rose to the level that they say it rose to. His word against their word, but obviously there's no proof. There's just he said, she said. But in today's cancel culture society, you're innocent. I mean, you're guilty until proven innocent. So Chris Noth, he's out of here. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's hard to say anything about this type of situation because, again, he's a celebrity and we don't know him personally. You can't go by his TV personality or anything. It's just, the easiest thing to do is to believe the accuser because that is usually the powerless person, and usually people don't have anything to gain by saying, "Oh, this person did this to me," and it will essentially be wrong to say, "Oh, we know Chris Noth, he would never do that," and
not the Chris that I knew.
Yeah. Because you don't know him, and as it goes, he is the powerful person. He's the person who can say, "Oh, this person's just trying to get money from me," and then you say, "Yeah, you're right," and then you don't believe someone who actually has been damaged by this person's behavior. So, as a general rule, I think it is best to believe the accuser, but. And in this case, this is the first time ever hearing this. I will go ahead and believe the accuser because lots of times powerful people, they think that they can get away with things like this. So whether or not it's true, he's not going to jail for it or anything. He's people say, "Well, the court of public opinion." Well, okay, that's great. I wouldn't call it a court of anything because he hasn't been found guilty. He's not going to jail. He's not paying any money. Nothing's happening. He's losing money, yes, but he's not, giving anything up. He will still be an actor, and he will be able to come back one day. So,
he's 67, man. He's cooked. He's toast. He's done.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 67 years old, man. He's finished.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back from that at age 67. Plus he's not like a superstar. He was a television star, someone who has notoriety. But nobody ever turned on TV and say, "Hey, okay, Chris Noth is in this show. I got to sit down and watch it." You know what I mean?
Some people probably do. There might be some hardcore Chris Noth fans. Like they love Sex and the City because I know a lot of people who love that show.
Yeah, I love Sex and the City, but I never watched it for Mr. Big. He was an integral part of the show. He was a huge part of it. Yeah. But I never watched Sex and the City, with the intent of making sure I caught, the few scenes that, Mr. Big was in.
Well, I know some women probably do.
Some women probably did. Yeah. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, man, he ain't Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, someone who's on, you put his name on the billboard and folks are coming out just because he's in, he's associated with that program. That's never going to happen. That never happened with Chris Noth. I'm sure he had, his little smattering of fans and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I'm talking, on a wide scale to where, it's like, yeah, we got to get him back into the mix. We got to uncancel him or whatever. So that's my point.
Okay. Well, maybe
What?
I feel like he might come back as a Robert Redford type, doing some kind of.
Robert Redford is a legend. Chris Noth is not a legend. That's the point.
I'm saying, he might come back with some great poignant role, and he wins like 5 Oscars, and then
Nah,
he's back.
ain't happening. But I do have a question for you though. Do you think Chris Noth would have been canceled if he could moonwalk?
What?
If he could moonwalk, do you think Chris Noth would have been canceled?
Yes, actually.
You just said that you tend to believe the accuser, except if the person being accused can moonwalk.
That's not at all what I said.
I know this is on tape. You know this is on tape, right? You're not gonna run this back, right?
Is this the reason that you want to talk about this?
No. But after you said that, it light bulb popped on. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That sounds like a bit of a contradiction to me.
Let's talk about the moonwalking guy then. Let's talk since you.
I ain't mention no name. All I said was moonwalk. I ain't mention nobody's name. Okay, so I said moonwalk.
I'm talking about I'm gonna say in the case of people who can moonwalk,
You're excluded, huh? You get executive privilege if you can moonwalk.
No, if you can moonwalk.
The moonwalking privilege.
If you can moonwalk.
The moonwalk amendment.
If you can moonwalk, and you go, and you actually do go to court several times, and you're found that your moonwalking skills got you out of this, like prove that you didn't do this, then you're not canceled. But at the same time, when you were moonwalking all over the place, and you got accused for moonwalking in someone's bedroom, you got canceled at that point, and you lost a lot of money, and people hated you for the longest time. It wasn't until you stopped moonwalking and died that you became beloved again. So, yeah, if you have those privileges, you do have the ability to be canceled.
Okay, from now on and henceforth, we will refer to that as the moonwalk clause. Okay?
Okay. Because, when it comes to people who can moonwalk, they have kind of a history. I don't want to say history. There's a. How long have we known Chris Noth as being
He's been around 20 plus years.
Yeah,
he's been around since because Law and Order is like I think the longest running TV show in history. It's been on about 30 years. So he's been with us, in that limelight for a better part of 25 to 30 years. Then Sex and the City came, which obviously, opened up a new set of fans for him as well. And, he was in movies. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. So his name is a recognizable name if you're into, television, especially television. He was never a movie star. He's always, supporting roles. He never had a lead role in a movie. He never had a lead role in a TV show, actually. He's always been, part of the supporting cast. But he became a bit of a sex symbol as well, because of his exploits as Mr. Big. So, I mean, when it comes to what he was accused of and everything, I mean, obviously it was of a sexual nature, and it was I think it was 2 or 3 young ladies who in detail described their encounters with him, and of course he said that these alleged encounters were consensual and things of that nature, and once again, a lot of the speculation, had the same type of moonwalk vibe to it, where somebody came out, because these encounters happened, 15, 20 years ago. These weren't something that just happened last week. Oh, Chris Noth raped me last week. No, these were, we dated back as far as, the late 80s, early 90s. See what I'm saying? So that gave it, that moonwalk stench, But, going forward, once again, the moonwalk clause, the definition is that you can or will be canceled for any type of malfeasance unless you can moonwalk.
But
That's
that's
the
not.
moonwalk clause.
That's not it at all. Because again, the moonwalking guy got canceled. He got quite canceled. So you can be canceled for even if you can moonwalk. If you are the originator of the moonwalk, you can be canceled. Nobody's exempt.
But I kind of beg to differ because that individual is still beloved to this day. You know.
After he died.
Well,
People,
he got revived. He got revived. He got resurrected.
That dude was like a disease for like 20 years because until he died. Okay, so you can't say, oh, he's beloved. He's always been. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. He got canceled circa 1995, and then had been canceled ever since until he died, and now he's beloved again. So
Okay. Number 2 on the list of celebrities that were canceled in 2021 is Chrissy Teigen. Who?
Oh, you know who she is.
Who in the hell is Chrissy? I have no idea who Chrissy Teigen is. Let's see here. It says the Queen of Twitter, call her the Queen of Twitter, okay, fell hard this year after some of her earliest tweets came to light in July. Okay, it said that she cyberbullied a TV personality by the name of Courtney Stodden, who at the time, at the age of 16, had married Doug Hutchison, a 50-year-old actor. Okay, the toxic tweets led Teigen. Okay, she's married to John Legend. Okay, now I know who she is. Okay, she lost a lot of lucrative deals with Target, Bloomingdale's, and Macy's because of the things that she said on Twitter about that Stodden girl. And what she posted on, one of the things she posted on Twitter was her Friday. She said, I quote, "My Friday fantasy, you dirt nap, baby." Okay. I don't know what all that is referring to. What are your thoughts on John Legend's wife?
I don't have a whole lot to say about this situation in particular because I don't know who Courtney Stodden is. That's the person I would say. Who? I've heard the name before.
Who?
But I don't. Huh?
Huh? Who? I know. I'm familiar with Christy Stodden because I know who Doug Hutchison is or was. So.
I have no idea who that
and
is.
I remember the controversy now because he was 50 years old dating a 16-year-old girl and they married. That's what kind of thrust Courtney into the spotlight because at that time Doug Hutchison he wasn't ever a star, but he was a well-known actor. He had a big role in you remember the movie The Green Mile?
Yeah.
He was the one who fried the guy and didn't wet the thing, the little smarmy guard. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see the movie, but I was talking about.
You ever see the movie Bait with Jamie Foxx?
No.
Okay. Well, those are the 2 movies I most remember him for. He was in Bait as well. Okay. Well, anyways, he was never a big star, but he did get some work in Hollywood. And he was a bit of a name for a brief stint there. And once he got hooked up with this 16-year-old girl, he got basically ostracized and everything. And but yeah, that's where all that came from. Go.
So wait a minute, she was what? 16?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he should have been ostracized for that.
Yeah, but if it was 60 years ago, 50-year-old man marrying a 16-year-old girl was normal.
Yeah, and also wrong, but okay. One thing about the past.
Agent number the number. Ask R. Kelly.
Yeah, ask him. Ask that guy.
If loving you is wrong, damn it, I don't want to be right.
Man, Chrissy Teigen. Yeah. So, as far as I know about this situation, the reason that she got canceled for saying that is because the girl came out and said, actually, I have had suicidal. I've tried to kill myself, and I've been suicidal for many years.
Because of Chrissy?
So, huh?
Because of what Chrissy said?
Not because of her. Well, maybe she triggered her or whatever. But I recall this person saying that is wrong because I actually have been suicidal, for a great deal of my life. So people are like, oh, poor baby, and then cancel Chrissy Teigen. So Okay. Um, I think the moral of this story is don't be mean. I mean, I don't really care who you are. Don't be mean.
And don't be attacking 16-year-old girls on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
just don't do it.
no, no.
Just you can ignore people on the internet. You know, people might say whatever they want to say, but you can ignore them. You don't have to clap back at them. You really don't. Now, I don't know if this person actually like came at her and said something, but it's a general rule of mine, and don't be mean to people. Like, I don't even defend myself most of the time. If people say something about me, I don't. I mean, nobody says anything about me on the internet. But I don't really try to defend myself in any kind of way because I'm not really good at comebacks. But also, I just try not to care. You know what? Some people are really good at coming back at people. Uh, that they're good at insults. They're good at making people feel bad. And I've never really understood that. I've never wanted to be that kind of person. I just feel like you have a platform on the internet. If you are a celebrity, you have a platform in general. Don't be mean. You can ignore them. Block her. If she's saying something to you on Twitter and you don't like it, block her. You don't have to really come back and say something that could be detrimental to that person's life. Don't do it.
So if you're Christy Teigen, and you're out there listening, stop being mean. Okay.
Pretty girl though.
What?
Pretty girl though.
I guess so. She's all right. She and all that. Anyways, next on the list is your friend and mine, Shia LaBeouf. Everybody knows who Shia is, the guy from I was gonna say Terminator, Transformer movies, and Sam Witwicky, and he was, let's see here, he was canceled because music artist and bona fide queen FKA Twigs. Who the fuck is FKA Twigs? I've never heard of that person.
A pretty good singer.
Okay, a singer named FKA Twigs filed a lawsuit against Shia in 2020 alleging sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. And that kind of sent him down the drain of cancel culture. You haven't seen him much nowadays in major movies and blockbusters anymore. He still works, of course, and mostly indie, smaller flicks and everything. So he's been pretty much been thrown in, I think, Hollywood jail because of what happened with his cancelization. Go.
I have to say about that, it's about time because that dude has been problematic his entire career, and he always blamed it on.
Well, he was straight back when he was on Transformers, though, wasn't he?
Huh?
I mean, when he was on Transformers, he wasn't making a whole lot of fuss.
Actually, he was. He actually, I mean, he had been getting into all kinds of trouble, with alcohol and drugs and things like that for a long time, and he always blamed it on his upbringing with his father. His father was problematic, and he was.
Used to beat his ass or something? What?
Do what?
Your dad used to beat his ass or something?
I think so, but I think in general the man was on drugs, and they had given him drugs or something. I don't know, something. But he always blamed it on his life as a young person, and but he's always been somewhat just kind of out there, and he's been doing really weird things, but also he's known to take so-called method acting to great lengths, just ridiculous things on set, and he was the one who was like on Nymphomaniac. He was like, we should actually have sex.
I remember that. Yeah.
I mean,
but that's that wasn't something to cancel for because that was like him trying to do his job. You know what I mean? So
no, that was him actually trying to have sex with Charlotte Gainsbourg.
Well, the actors did actually have sex, but it was just body doubles though. I mean, it was like porn actors who had the actual sex.
But again, Shia LaBeouf and Charlotte Gainsbourg didn't have sex. He was like, let's do it. and no, she didn't want to do it, and nobody wanted to do it except for the porn stars. So
I mean, it's a dude trying to do his job, trying to do a job he was paid to do at his at. You can't really blame a person for trying to do their job well. Okay,
nah, I don't
come on.
know.
I don't think he was doing it just so he can get a piece of Charlotte Gainsbourg. That's what I'm saying. Cause this is Shia LaBeouf. Okay, you a famous movie star, rich and everything. I'm sure there are a lot of girls out there look a whole lot better than Charlotte Gainsbourg that he could have had in his trailer on set at any time.
And he was probably doing it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just.
So I don't think it was a situation where he was trying to smash Charlotte Gainsbourg. It's someone who's trying to do his job trying to do the job he was paid to do.
It was the other women on the set too. The girl who played the girl when she was young, he felt like I want to hit that too. And also her
have you seen Nymphomaniac, by the way? I have.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have.
All right, just checking. Okay.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
Her girlfriend in the movie that she ended up with.
But wait a minute now. Didn't Charlotte Gainsbourg actually have sex with what's his name in the other movie that Lars von Trier did? With I think it was Willem Dafoe. The shower scene, you know what I'm talking about? I didn't
see that movie. I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that movie.
I think they said they actually had sex, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, I don't know.
So maybe maybe he was basing that on Charlotte's, past reputation for also going the length,
maybe,
for her art.
I got turned on by that scene, and I want to do it.
Maybe.
I mean, that's the way that I see it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really creepy to me for him to be like, we should. But anyway.
But if you're gonna be in a Lars von Trier film anyway, there's gonna be some sex. There's gonna be some explicit sex because that's going in. If you work with this dude, you're gonna get naked and there's gonna be some gratuitous sex.
And so he was like, I'm gonna make the most of it.
So and Charlotte has worked with Lars before. So why would it become an issue now, knowing the kind of motherfucker you're working for and what he requires in his films? I mean, come on.
Here we go with the victim blaming.
No. I'm not saying that Charlotte. I'm not looking at Charlotte as being a victim because this is the job. That's what I'm saying. Now, Shia being a method actor. What?
The job is not to have sex, though. It's not like if I cast you in a movie, you're gonna have sex with somebody. That's not what it was.
But what I'm saying, there have been several instances in movies where the actors have said they actually did have sex. This is not the first time that this is something that came up.
Well,
like I think there was a movie with where Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland actually had sex. I think they both admitted they actually had sex in the movie.
Interesting.
The one where she played the prostitute. What was it? Clue. Yeah, and she won an Oscar for that movie, Clue. Okay, the rumor is that she and Donald Sutherland actually had sex. And they all may think about a different movie, but I think that's the one that they're talking about. It's actually. So there have been instances where the actors have said that they went all the way for the sake of their art. I know Last Tango in Paris. There was a similar situation where Marlon Brando, it was a rape scene where he actually penetrated the girl, and she didn't want it, but Marlon Brando, one of the guys who perfected, method acting, went all the way with that.
He raped her.
Yeah, and raped her. But once again, it wasn't rape. It wasn't like rape for for satisfaction. This is someone, someone doing his job, or at least attempting to do his job at its absolute apex. Isn't that what you want when you hire somebody for a fucking job? For them to do it the absolute best to their ability?
Yeah. It's kind of weird because when you're acting, you should never get so into the role that you're like, I'm going to rape this person and get away with it because, the art. No, that ain't right. So, that's beside the point, though. I didn't mean to go into a tirade about the man having sex with his woman on camera. My whole point of saying this is Shia LaBeouf needed to be canceled after many things that he's said and done over the years. And, if you read about the situation with Twigs, he was pretty mean to her. He was not nice to her at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
so basically he got canceled for his body of work, not just for one incident.
Yeah. I think because she does have a pretty strong fan base.
She's so
You know,
her fan base so strong. I never heard of her, but okay.
but what I was about to say, she may not be like a household name, but the fan base that she does have, which is actually pretty strong. Whether I mean, you have
Sort of like Chris Noth, not a household name, but had a strong fan base.
There you go. Okay. Um, they came for Shia LaBeouf and it worked. So I suggest you go and read about what he supposedly did to her, because being mean to a young British black woman is
Oh, she black?
it was wrong. Yeah, she's black.
Oh, damn. Okay, see, you didn't tell me that part, man. So now this takes on a whole different spin. So now, yeah, he should have been canceled. Now I'm a fan of Twigs, whatever her name is.
Uh,
I gotta let my racial bias kick in at some point. So all right, go ahead.
well, there you go. So honestly, go read about her, because I think you might be a little more sympathetic to her. I don't know her personally. I don't know what kind of person she is, but it didn't sound like she was.
Well, obviously, yeah, she had to be from London, because if Twigs was from Louisville, he got cut. So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
they do
he
the same
picked his
thing.
spots.
They do the same thing in Britain, so I don't know, but
There's a difference.
anyway,
There's a difference between being a British motherfucker and being from Louisville, Kentucky.
that's true. That's true. So
only thing that you guys got in common is your skin color. That's about it. Because you Louisville, you gonna get cut.
That's right.
All
Well,
right, what?
he deserved to get canceled. That's what I say.
All right, enough about that fool. All right, now next on this list is the motherfucker who should have been number one. Okay, I can tell you this right now, just by seeing the name. I haven't read up on what the little blurb is here, but I've already heard about what this motherfucker's done. Man, it's some sick shit, and I'm talking about Armie Hammer. Um, Now I've read stories and seen stuff on the news about this dude. Man, this dude doing some crazy shit. Anyways, Armie Hammer is was a huge movie star, matinee idol type guy, good looking guy. Comes from a ton of money. His name is Armie Hammer. He comes from the whole Arm& Hammer baking soda fortune.
So he
Um,
does.
so what?
He does.
Yes, he does. He is a descendant of Armand Hammer. Um, but he got cut off the family fortune, so he's been ostracized. He was ostracized by the family way before. I think they want him to go into the family business, and he decided, no, I'm gonna go be an actor. So you're gonna be an actor, you ain't getting none of this Arm& Hammer money. Fuck you. So he's like, I'm out. Peace. So he did find success in Hollywood. He got nominated for an Oscar for his role in The Social Network. He was a leading man in several major Hollywood films, most notably The Lone Ranger, which was a flop, but it was a film that he top-lined along with Johnny Depp. He was on the A-list. I mean, he did big movies. He did a movie with Clint Eastwood and Leonardo DiCaprio, J. Edgar. He was one of the lead actors in that film, and several others. So he's somebody who was at the apex of his profession until there were disturbing text messages that were leaked online revealing apparent fetishes for rape, sadism, and cannibalism. Now, I've seen the text. These are actual texts that he sent to ladies that he was involved with, saying that he wanted to eat them. He wanted to tie them up in public and just leave them there so anybody who wanted to fuck them could come up and fuck them. It just outlandish shit. He was abusing them sexually, like in this S&M type stuff. And there's like photos and videos of him having girls tied up and just doing all kinds of just outlandish shit. But the craziest thing is him saying that he was a cannibal and that he wanted to actually, drink their blood and eat them. And I ain't saying cunnilingus. I'm talking like Jeffrey Dahmer type eating people. So obviously he was quickly canceled. He got pulled out of a major movie that he was scheduled to start shooting on. I think the last movie that he did was Death on the Nile, which I saw. And they took him like all the promotion for the film. They didn't want you to know he was in the film, but he had a prominent role in that film. That's the last major film that he's been in. And postscript, he's been canceled, lost all of his work. His wife left him, and he was last seen in the Cayman Islands working, selling timeshares. So,
Huh.
yeah, how the mighty have fallen. So he's so broke he is selling timeshares in the Cayman Islands. And when the reports came out that he was working there was a press release, whatever, that said that no, he wasn't working there. That he was there, he was there like on, he was a guest at the resort or whatever, right? Until photos surfaced of him in uniform, actually working.
Wow.
So that is where Army Hammer is now. So go.
I've never heard of. I've only barely known this guy's name. I was. The only thing I know about him is that his name's Army Hammer, and I was always like, Army Hammer. I didn't,
You didn't make the connection.
I didn't know he was actually part of that family. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought maybe
That old
somebody
money.
named him that.
Yeah, he down with that old loot, boy. Woo!
Well, not anymore apparently.
Yeah. You can take a box of that shit, put it in your refrigerator. You can brush your teeth with it.
Refrigerator clean for 3 weeks.
Yep, you can brush your teeth with it. You can gargle and rinse with it. Yeah, I used to brush my teeth with that
I
shit.
still brush my teeth with it.
I stopped a while ago, but I grew up brushing my teeth with that stuff, boy. They keep your shit pearly white. So.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing about it is that it destroys your enamel, but it
A
works.
word. Yeah.
And that's partly what's wrong with my teeth right now because
No enamel?
so many,
No.
my enamel is almost gone. But darn. Also acid erosion. But anyway.
Oh, quick sidebar. Since you brought it up. Okay, sidebar. When I was little, man, we were so poor. How poor were you? We were so poor that there were times where we had to brush our teeth with soap. True. Go.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't imagine that we were ever that. I mean, I know it was before I was alive, apparently, but
yeah, it was before you were
I can't imagine
alive.
we were ever that poor.
Yeah, we take like Ivory soap, the soap that floats. Ivory soap. That kind of soap we used back then. Take the bar of soap, take your brush, rub it on the Ivory soap, and brush your teeth with it. Yes, did that many a time. Tasted awful,
And
but
it probably didn't work.
I probably didn't. And it sure didn't make your breath smell mini clean. But if you don't have no toothbrush, no toothpaste, and you need to brush your teeth, go to school in the morning, and mom, your grandma say, "Hey, do this, boy. You gonna do it." I hated it, but yeah. But then we graduated to using Arm & Hammer baking soda, which is a little bit better. Kind of salty, but
Salty, yes.
yeah. But it didn't taste like that damn Ivory soap tasted. Ugh. Plus, it's the same bar of soap that you used to wash your ass with the night before. You know what I'm saying? It just.
Well, soap is kind of naturally clean, so.
Okay, but still, I mean, just you think this bar of soap was in my in the crack of my ass last night, and now I'm using it to brush my
You
teeth.
actually use the bar of soap to wash yourself? Like, you put the bar of...
Don't everybody?
Well, I know some people do that, but, I mean...
I do. I use the bar. I didn't really use washcloths. I actually use the bar, against my, my soft, supple skin to,
I use a,
loofah?
yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm old school, baby. I'm old school.
I mean, that's how you get the best suds, But anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
No.
Army Hammer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I barely know anything about the man. But hearing this, yeah, he should be more than canceled. I mean...
Oh, he's done. He is done.
Cannibalism, huh? I
Yeah.
want to eat you, and
Yeah.
then I want to tie you up and let other people come. Wow. I've never heard that before. I did not know this. As I said, I don't follow the dude. I really know nothing about him.
There's actually a documentary that's coming out on this. I think it'll be on Hulu. It's coming out real soon, detailing all of this shit, man. And like I said, he can't even deny it, man, because the girls that are involved, got the text messages, shared the text messages and the photos and the videos. So
Wow.
he can't even be like, it's taken out of context. She said, "No, motherfucker, that's you." Shut the fuck up. Take your ass to the Cayman Islands and hook me up with a timeshare. So.
I mean, why would anybody think that was something to say? I mean,
What?
I guess he wanted to do it, but why did he even think that was acceptable? I mean, that's crazy.
obviously when you're rich and privileged and you've probably been coddled your entire life and able to do whatever you want to do with whomever you want to do with no repercussions, this is what you turn into, thinking that you can do this kind of crazy shit and get away with it. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. If his last name was Trump, he wouldn't be in this kind of trouble. But
That's true. That's actually true.
yeah, absolutely true.
And that needs to. Oh man, that needs to be remedied like now.
Don't worry, that's on my list of topics. It's coming. So,
Okay.
all right, you got anything else to say about Mr. Army Shithammer?
I'll just say that's sick.
Yeah,
Horrible.
yeah. And if you're out there listening, Army Hammer, why would you be listening? Get back to work. Clock. You need to clock back in, motherfucker. Shit.
But you don't have a job because once anybody finds out that you're working anywhere, you don't have that job anymore, because that's what happened to you in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny that like they come out with this press release. He's not working here. He's a guest. Oh, hold my beer. Send.
But I figured it sounded to me like they were saying he no longer works here. Like he doesn't. Technically, he doesn't because we fired him. But
no, I think he still works there. MC, let me do some quick internet research here real quick and see where he is now. Let's see, Army Hammer, Cayman Islands. Let's see. That's all you gotta do nowadays. Get information. Okay. Army Hammer was spotted on June 29th heading into a Cayman Islands resort office as the disgraced actor is believed to be selling timeshares at Moritz Resort. The latest entry is from July 13th, so a little over a month and a half ago. Still saying that he's working there. So I think I'm saying he's probably still working there. Yeah, because I think as a child, whatever, this family moved to the Cayman Islands, so it's an area that he's been a resident of. So I'm sure he probably has a lot of connections down there, folks taking care of him or whatever, because he's a native or whatever. So
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, this motherfucker's selling timeshares. Okay, you went from being a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie actor, Oscar nominated, to selling timeshares in the Cayman Islands. Okay, that's kind of like me, going from having a nice secure position, and next thing you know, I'm working third shift at the Circle K.
Yeah. But really, he should not be selling timeshares. He should be a Captain D's or something. He should not have any opportunities at all. You can still make money selling timeshares,
Yeah, but come on, everybody, everybody deserves to make a living. It's not like, he wasn't, indicted or charged with a crime or anything like that,
No,
just rough sex, There's nothing, it's not against the law to say you want to eat somebody. That's not against the law, so.
No, it's not, but.
Now, if you go through with it.
That's what I'm saying, who knows if he actually is not,
Well, as far as according to the latest reports, there haven't been any missing cannibalized bodies that have shown up connected to Mr. Hammer yet. So, allegedly.
That's what I'm saying. Watch him.
Okay. Well, if young girls start disappearing in the Cayman Islands, I think we know who the number one suspect is going to be.
Indeed.
All right. Let me take that back. Person of interest. All right. Next on the list, number 5, is Marilyn Manson. Everybody knows who Marilyn Manson is. This, fucking freak. Anyways, his real name is Brian Hugh Warner. Okay. And he was dropped from his record label after multiple women, including Westworld actress and ex-girlfriend Evan Rachel Wood, accused him of sexual assault and sex trafficking. So, that got, of all things, that's what got Marilyn Manson canceled, and all the outlandish shit that he did to become famous. All that stuff was cool, but now all of a sudden he's canceled. Go.
So I've been a fan of Marilyn Manson for many years. Yes, I like Marilyn Manson. I've liked his music since middle school.
Could he move on too?
He can moonwalk. Yeah. Um. Uh. But yes, I have liked his music for a very long time. But I mean, he has had all that other stuff that he became controversial for. I mean, forget that, because that was theatrical stuff. I mean, he's just an actor basically. But hearing about what he's actually done to many women, like that was kind of that's the main thing. He has a long string of women that he has supposedly mistreated, in many horrible ways. Dita Von Teese and
Who? Who?
she's a burlesque actress. She was somewhat famous for a while. I guess you never heard of her. I think he was also with some woman from one of those tattoo shows on like E or whatever, and I think he mistreated her. But Evan Rachel Wood is the most famous one, and if you read her account of what he did to her,
What did he do?
he like imprisoned her. He did some R. Kelly stuff.
Oh wow.
And he beat her, and also there's a music video that they did together. She said that in that video he raped her. So
It was a method acting?
let's say that, okay? I don't think so.
Okay.
But either way, when you have this many situations that it ends like this with everybody that you're with, yeah, you did it, and you deserve to be canceled. Now, I don't care if I'm a fan of his music. I mean, it just seems too credible. So, yeah, he's done for. I try not to even that. So there's a thing that I kind of go for with separate the art from the artist. And there's some people I can do that with, and then there's some that I can't. And
is he one of the ones that you can't?
He's one of the ones that I can't.
Yeah,
So.
plus you look like a fucking freak. So.
Again, he's not even. People think, oh yeah, he's a freak, or he's satanic and all this stuff. No, he's just a guy.
What I'm saying is, if Marilyn Manson, every time you saw him, he was in a certain suit and a tie, a suit and a tie, and with his hair nicely groomed, and and well, just looking like he just stepped out of a Wall Street boardroom. People, would probably give him, more credence. But when you walk around, sucking blood out of bats and shit, and drinking urine, you get less credibility. You know what I'm saying? People are going to tend to believe the crazy shit people say about you if the last image they saw of you was drinking goat milk out of a elephant's ass.
I mean,
come on,
I know you're exaggerating here, but
no, he actually drank goat milk out of an elephant's ass.
Things, but okay.
On stage.
I don't know how he would have done that, but
it was a sight to see.
I know there are a lot.
And he didn't use a straw either. He just put his mouth under the elephant's ass, and the milk came.
The question is, how did they get the elephant on stage? Because
I think the elephant was sedated. Yeah, I think the elephant was sedated, and they loosened his bowels to where the milk would come out the elephant's ass.
I'm sure there's video of that somewhere. I need to check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, man. Google Marilyn Manson elephant ass and see what comes up.
Well,
I'm serious.
Anyway,
I'm serious, man.
Apparently, he's not a good person. So I can't deal with him.
Let me do some research. Marilyn, Marilyn Manson. See here. Manson, Manson, elephant ass. ELEPHANTASS. Let's see. All right. Oh, reaction. Okay. That was something else. Okay, so it didn't come up. Almost. For a second, I was like, oh, it actually did happen. Okay, so okay, Marilyn Manson, if you're out there listening, fuck off. All right, and stop beating up young starlets. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, number 6, Aaron Rodgers. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks to ever live, and he's currently, the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, and he is famously, he has notoriety as an NFL quarterback, also for smashing some of the hottest actresses in Hollywood. So I think currently he's smashing Shailene Woodley to the point where he actually got engaged to her. I think the engagement is off now, but for a minute there, he had her thinking that he was going to actually marry her. He was canceled for purposely misleading the public about his vaccination status and endangering those around him. When asked if he was vaccinated at a press conference in August, the 38-year-old replied, "Yeah, I'm immunized," only to test positive for COVID-19 a few months later in November. He later joined the Pat McAfee show on YouTube in November to defend his decision to not get vaccinated. I remember exactly when this happened. He said that he was immunized. He didn't say that he was vaccinated. He said that he was immunized, but he was leading people to believe that he was vaccinated when I think in actuality he did some holistic shit or whatever, some shit that he referred to as being immunized, but he wasn't actually immunized, and that caused a huge stink in the NFL. Go.
I barely know anything about this. I don't follow sports, so I've heard a little bit about it, and he was saying this crap at a time when the pandemic was at its height, and to say, yeah, I'm immunized, and then you go and you go and play the game with all these guys and probably coughing on them and everything, bleeding and all this stuff, and it's just you're telling lies. You are endangering people's lives, and what's the purpose of it? Because you don't want to take a shot. To this day, I don't really understand people who don't want to be vaccinated. It's proven to be a safe shot, and
obviously, because COVID is now pretty much a non-factor. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say it's a non-factor.
Well, but it had we're not shut down no more. I guess people are now out and about and living their lives again. So
yeah, I mean the pandemic is not over, but we are.
It's been minimized.
It's been minimized.
Yeah.
But at that time, when people were literally dying, he shouldn't have been doing that. And I think anybody who takes that kind of stance against a freaking shot, especially if you're a famous person and you can afford it, like, come on now, don't do that. It's just dumb. You risk your actual career and your status because you don't want to take a shot.
Yeah, but you would take a shot for measles and polio and all that kind of shit.
Exactly.
Because there are immunizations you got to get to go overseas. All that kind of stuff. It's not like you can just pack up, and go to fucking, China. You got to get shots and stuff to do that.
Yeah, you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've said this so many times. Everybody's vaccinated for something.
Yeah.
You can't go to school without being vaccinated for something. And you can't go to college without being vaccinated. If you've been to college, you have to be vaccinated again. Yep. I know that I was. So, and like you just said, if you want to travel, you have to be vaccinated. The only reason that the COVID-19 vaccination is so reviled is because it became politicized by this one person. You know who he is.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous. And now you even have, I know black people have a reason to be wary of vaccines, but, I really hate the fact that the black community has been so against it because, again, it's safe and it does work. So, there's just the whole aversion to being vaccinated that people have had over the past 2 years. I'm just like, put it out of your mind. Like, it's okay, do it. So why a rich person would say I'm not going to, and you mislead people into believing that you actually are vaccinated when you're like, I'm immunized because I've been taking, uh, uh, you know, St. John's wort or whatever, forget it. It's dumb. He deserves to get canceled for that. But he's not, because apparently he's still out there doing his thing and being rich and famous. So he didn't get kicked off the team or anything. So whatever.
Well, yeah, actually, he can do that because he has the resources to, to do that. But once again, if you work the third shift at Hardee's, you can't be like, yeah, I'm immunized and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Membership has its privileges, and that's a privilege that he took full advantage of to mislead people into believing that he was vaccinated when in actuality he was not. So, Aaron Rodgers, right there listening? Why would you be listening? All right. Next on the list, at number 7, we have Matt Damon. Everybody knows who Matt Damon is. If you don't know who Matt Damon is, it's your fault, not mine. World famous actor, Jason Bourne, friend of Ben Affleck's, Academy Award winner, all that good stuff. He was canceled because during the promotion for his movie called Stillwater in August, he talked about using a homophobic slur at dinner with his family. His daughter intervened and I guess schooled him on why he shouldn't use that term. So he was canceled briefly for admitting that he used a homophobic slur. So he basically, stabbed his own damn self in the eye and just said, hey, yeah, I called somebody, I guess the F word. I used that term, while, at a family dinner. And he got canceled. Okay, go.
No, I haven't heard that before. I don't really pay any attention to Matt Damon because he's actually not he's not a guy I watch out for. I don't particularly like him.
He's a good actor.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
Well, this is what I have to say about this situation here. He told on himself. It was something that people didn't have to know. But at the same time, I'll say this. It is wrong to say that word. In this day and age, do not say it, okay? It is wrong. It is wrong. Anybody who says it, you are wrong. Do not say it. At the same time, everybody has said it.
Yeah.
And there are people who say it now on record. And when I say record, I mean like on albums, in music. They have said it I'm sure he said it in his movies before. I don't know.
Well, it's one thing to say it in a movie. That's part of your script. I mean, so,
Okay, so why is it okay to say it in the script? Why is that okay?
Because once again, it's active. Is considered art, and art is protected. If nothing else. I mean, you can say nigga, and on the radio. I mean, in your songs, same difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
it's art.
Well, not same difference because Matt Damon can't jump on a record and say nigga. So
he could. You know what I mean?
He could, and he would be canceled.
I don't think he would.
Yeah, he would.
I don't think so.
I mean,
there's a lot of white artists out there who have used the N-word in their songs and didn't get canceled. You know what I mean?
Well, they should have.
I wouldn't cancel a white artist for saying nigga in a rap song. I would not. Well, once again, it depends on the context. It depends in the context that it's being used. Yeah, if it's being used in a racist context, then yeah. But if it's not being used in a racist context, do what it do, nigga.
I mean, if Eminem, which he says he has never, and he says he will not.
I would not get mad at Eminem for using the N-word. No.
No, okay. If Eminem got on record and said "my niggas," you'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
But if he said "I'm a nigga," what would you say? What would you say about
that? That wouldn't bother me either. But if he give, if he's singing a song, he's doing a song talking about I hate niggas, because they all come from the hood and smoke weed. That's different. You know what I'm saying? But if you say something, the baddest motherfucker ever touched that mic, I'm that nigga. Yeah, I get it. You know what You know what I mean,
So
it just depends the context on which he using it. I mean, nobody accuses Quentin Tarantino of being a racist because he uses nigga.
Actually, they do.
Well,
They do.
well, it's never stuck. It's never stuck. You know what I mean, it never stuck because Sam Jackson, he gets the Sam Jackson stamp of approval.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I mean, as much as I like Tarantino, I have to wonder sometimes because he makes it a point to have white people say the word millions of times in his movies.
But I get why he does it, and I actually commend him.
Lots of times, though, wait a minute though.
What?
Lots of times though, the person who's saying it in the movie is him. He often in the roles that he puts himself.
And that's a very brave thing, and I get that because it's a very brave thing for him to do because he's basically saying, hey, I will take on this weight myself. I'm not gonna put it on another actor. I will do it myself and take all the responsibility for it. Because hey, one of the most famous scenes in movie history. When you can't pull in here, you see a sign that said "Dead Nigga Sarge"? No. You know why you didn't see it? Why? Because storing dead niggas ain't my fucking job. Everybody knows that. And what I'm saying is that was a very pivotal part of Pulp Fiction. Now, Tarantino wasn't saying that in a racist way. But that character who was a friend of Jules, who Jules called on because he was in this situation, you can tell that their relationship is one that goes back 20 years. You can see that, and Jimmy's married to a black woman. So Jimmy grew up. That character, just by that scene, that Jimmy grew up around black people. That he's accepted in the black community where he could say that to Jules, a cold-blooded murderer. Okay? And not even get a blink from Jules. Because Jules has heard it a million times before from Jimmy. And he's okay with it.
Exactly.
That's the point. That's the beauty of that scene. That's the beauty of what Tarantino did.
I get that. But
Okay?
at the same time, Jimmy ain't real. So
no, it's not real. But what you were saying if you say you can't say it in a song, what's the difference?
This is
The song ain't real either.
Okay, listen to me.
What?
In the case of Tarantino, I have to wonder sometimes because think about this. This is what kind of disturbs me about him. He often tries to put himself into his films to live out some kind of fantasy, which it seems like. Because he wanted to choke Diane Kruger with the chain in Inglourious Basterds. Because he was like, I wanted to look realistic. He wanted to be the person to do it. He tried to kill Uma Thurman and Kill Bill. He wanted to do it. Every time that there's some sort of fantasy he wants to live out in his films, he does it. And that's how I feel about
I totally disagree. I totally disagree. I could not disagree more. Once again,
want to kill these women?
As a writer, as someone who writes and has been paid to write, okay, I understand where he's coming. I understand the artistic license that he takes in the way he does his thing. I know exactly what he's trying to do, and I understand the connotation.
Explain.
I just tried to explain to you, but you don't hear it. I tried to explain to you, you don't want to hear it. So. I don't know. There's not much more I can say.
His method acting, and his dedication to his art. Like I will take on the burden of choking this woman and trying to kill my so-called muse. I will do that.
He wasn't trying to kill Uma Thurman, okay? All right, he wasn't trying to kill her.
So how come she fell out with him? Because she said. He tried to kill me.
I mean, there are a lot of directors out there. If you follow movies, there are a lot of directors out there who really push their actors to the absolute limit to try to get that shot, try to get that perfect shot or whatever. Like Stanley Kubrick damn near drove Shelley Duvall insane. Okay.
Stanley Kubrick was known for not being a good guy.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is,
he was not a good guy.
No. You remember the movie? Anybody remember the movie Full Metal Jacket? Okay, all right. You ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, all right. You remember the scene where the black guy gets shot, where the sniper, he gets shot like 30 times? He's laid out there?
Yeah.
Okay, Dorian Harewood was the actor. Okay, that wasn't in the original script. What happened was, because it took over a year to shoot Full Metal Jacket, and Kubrick was notorious for doing takes hundreds of times to get it right. Okay, and he was just notorious for that. Anyways, long story short, Dorian Harewood had another job he had to get to. All right, and they were on the shoot for so long they had ran over schedule that he had to actually leave Full Metal Jacket to go to another commitment that he had for another film. So Kubrick got mad at him for leaving his film. So he wrote that scene where because that character was not supposed to get killed. So he rewrote it so that character would get killed. And when they were filming this, they were filming it in England during the winter, even though the film is set during the summer. But it was like 20 degrees, and he made Dorian Harewood lay out there for days, in the cold, and get with these squibs exploding on his body over and over and over and over again. And he did that to get back at him for having the nerve to leave his film.
And
okay,
this is a defense of this man, how?
No, I'm not. The point that I'm making is that you Google it. There's a long list of stories where directors have their actors doing dangerous shit. Okay, all right, for whatever reason. So Quentin Tarantino was not the first one to ask an actor to do something that risked their lives.
You proving my point here. You just told me this long story about Stanley Kubrick being horrible and vindictive to
But when he wasn't trying to kill, he was trying to get even, but he wasn't trying to kill Dorian Harewood.
He was not trying to kill him.
No,
he was not doing it for the sake of the movie because it wasn't even supposed to happen. He was doing it in a vindictive spirit.
Yes.
He was trying to be mean to the
dude. Yes.
Therefore, what I'm saying about Quentin Tarantino with doing what he did to these two women, he was trying to do his own little. It wasn't vindictive. He wasn't trying to be mean, but he was trying to do his own thing. He was like, I want to do this thing that I want to do, and I'm going to do it. He was not being very nice, apparently.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. But he wasn't trying to kill Uma Thurman. That's the point.
Daniel Bruhl, wasn't he the person who was supposedly killing Diane Kruger in that movie?
I think in that particular movie, I think no. See, I think the story behind that is that on the day that they shot that the actor wasn't available, so he went and did it themselves.
He did it himself. He said he wanted to do it.
No.
Tarantino said I wanted to do it.
And actually, I think that was a pickup shot. It wasn't even something that was really, it was a pickup shot that was done like I think part of reshoots late in production. I don't think it was something. I think my takeaway. I remember reading about it, but I think this is something they had her come back so they could shoot, just for continuity. Because in editing, they wanted the editor wanted to, get that shot added in. So when they did the reshoots, they brought her back in to do it. Daniel Bruhl wasn't available, so Tarantino did it, which happens a lot. Okay.
All right. Well, the point of what I'm saying is this: we were talking about Matt Damon, and we're not supposed to be talking about Tarantino or Kubrick or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I didn't mean to go on this long tirade, but the point was that people say things, and everybody has said these things, and I think the gist of it all should be, don't say things like this. Don't say nigger. Don't say nigga. Don't say nigger. Don't say the F word, because I don't want to say that. People, this haunts me. So I can say nigger because I'm black. But don't say the F word. Everybody has said it. I know I've said it, and I actually regret it. I really do. Back in the day, there was a time when I said it a lot, and not meaning gay, but just people said it, But I wouldn't say it now because it's a hurtful word. It's horrible. So,
Well, there's a lot of words that are hurtful that that were okay to say 30 years ago that's not okay to say now.
Right. And I think as it goes, I've told you this before.
What?
My motto actually is blitz.
Archaic
thought. Don't do that. Just because it was okay to do it years ago, it's now archaic. Don't do it. So, that's how I feel. But I don't know if Matt Damon should be canceled so much for admitting that he said this at the table. His daughter told him hey, this isn't right, and she explained to him why. Hopefully, he'll never say it again.
Well, I think in Matt Damon's case, I think it was like a slight cancellation, just like a little mini cancellation. He wasn't full on cancel because he's still doing stuff and he's still, out there, getting work and all this kind of stuff. And I saw him in The Last Duel last year, well, a film that flopped, but it was a damn good film, and he was damn good, and he should have been nominated for an Oscar. All right, moving on. Enough about that nigga. Yeah, I just called Matt Damon a nigga. All right, Justin Timberlake. He got into something with Britney Spears. See here. Britney Spears generated fresh scrutiny on how her ex-boyfriend Justin Timberlake had manipulated the media to unfairly tarnish the young pop singer's reputation following their breakup in 2002. When he indirectly accused her of cheating on him if you remember the song "Cry Me a River." That's old news. I don't know why he got canceled for that in 2021, but who cares? That was back in 2002 when that whole "Cry Me a River" thing went down, and I didn't care about it then. Did you?
No, I didn't. Did not care about it then. Don't care about it now.
Okay. So why is it on this list?
I mean, well, I'll tell you why it's on this list. Because everybody
Are you looking at it?
Soft spot. What?
Are you looking at the list?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what the list is. I'm going off what you're reading.
Okay.
But I'm saying the reason why I would say is because everybody has a soft spot for Britney Spears and what she has gone through with this conservatorship. So everybody's like, oh, free Britney and all that. So, she's been very vocal these days talking about her hard life. And
hard life my ass. She couldn't get at her money. Okay, she wasn't in prison. She wasn't chained up. With 500 other niggas. On a boat for 6 months. I ain't sure. Fuck that.
Well, at the same time,
instead of being able to spend $1 million a month, she only can spend $500,000 a month. Woo!
But was it about the money, or was it about her not being able to do? Like, she doesn't even make music anymore. Partly because she's not a good musician, but also. Part of the conservatorship was not just monetary. It was she couldn't take on projects that she wanted to do.
Britney Spears, had long been washed up. Been washed up a long time, and the shelf life of these pop stars are, finite at best. Come on.
Yeah, but you say she's washed up, but
she's washed. Man, come on.
I mean, she's still a big name, and if she put out a record today, it will go #1. So
no, it wouldn't.
I mean, I feel like it would.
Well, it would now because of all this conservatorship, glory that she's gotten. But I mean, Brandy couldn't drop a record, next week and go #1. Nobody would care.
But Brandy was never as big as Britney Spears.
Brandy was huge during her time. Brandy was huge. Okay, she might not have been Britney.
Huge, but black huge.
She might not have been Britney huge, but white. Britney wasn't it? Brandy crossed over big time. That's why I said Brandy because she crossed over. Come on.
Come on now,
Brandy crossed over big time.
Britney Spears.
What?
Never.
I didn't say she was as big as Britney Spears. I'm saying she crossed over.
In the conversation, I don't think there is other than Beyonce. I don't think there's a black artist who can compare to Britney Spears when it comes to popularity. I can't think of one.
Man, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Brandy was huge during her time, man. She crossed over.
But no, Brandy can't because Brandy killed somebody. So no.
It was an accident, okay?
And I bet it haunts her every day.
I'm sure it probably does. But she didn't maliciously go out and kill somebody on purpose. I mean, it's a difference.
Yeah, but what it actually was kind of malicious because she didn't mean to do it, but she didn't care. She was just driving like a maniac. So But anyway. That's not the point. The point is, no, Brandy couldn't come back and sell. She has albums, and her albums don't sell like that. Her time has passed, but Britney Spears is a little different.
Britney Spears' time has passed.
Brandy also couldn't have a residency in Las Vegas, whereas Britney Spears can. So, a little different.
I said what I said. I meant what I said. So I don't.
Well, you can say it and mean it all day long to make it true.
Brandy was huge,
Okay. Monica's also huge. She also ain't selling. Okay. So there are lots of those teen type um, black singers who could never come back today.
Brandy has had 17 top 20 hits.
I didn't
Two
say she wasn't
two in the
popular.
number one, 7 went top 10. Okay,
Yeah.
that's huge. That's
And
huge.
Britney has what?
I never said that she was bigger than Britney, but I'm saying is Brandy had a time that when she crossed over to where she was huge. That's all. That's all I'm saying, man. But for whatever reason, man, you like disputing that when I mean, I'm looking at the chart history right now. Chick had hit after hit after hit.
I'm not saying Brandy wasn't huge, but she was not as huge as Britney.
I never said she was, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, you said Brandy wouldn't be able to do that. Well, no, she wouldn't. But Britney Spears would. If Britney Spears put out an album today, and it was like, they're like, she's working with The Weeknd and produced by The Dream and all this stuff, then and had Megan Thee Stallion on there, her album would go to number one. I promise.
Okay. All right. I don't know why this is even a subject. Okay. No, enough about them niggas. All right. Next up, number 9, Ellen DeGeneres. Everybody knows who Ellen is. She was in May. She ended her talk show, the Ellen DeGeneres show, after 19 seasons. DeGeneres. The announcement came a year after rumors of toxic workplace and sexual misconduct emerged in 2020. So yeah, they the story came out that she was very mean to the people that worked for her, and that you couldn't make eye contact with her and all this kind of stuff. And she was very would use harsh, demeaning language to people, and you were just a terrible person to be around, and that hastened the end of her show. So yeah, she definitely got canceled, and it doesn't help the fact that she is part of the LGBTQ community as well. So I'm sure folks were just looking for a reason to cancel her in the first place. When they finally got their opportunity, they plopped on it. So go.
That's true. That is true. I have been a fan of Ellen for a long, long time. I really like Ellen. I was a big fan of her sitcom back in the day. I always thought she was pretty funny. Didn't really like her TV show, her talk show. But yeah, she's always. I say all that to say that she's always seemed like a nice and genuine person to me. But that's her TV persona. When you have people behind the scenes saying she's nothing like this, it kind of peels away from the nice facade of this really, down to earth and just generous person. And she tries to have the image of a generous person all the time. But I was always very suspect of that, because what she would do on her talk show, I never understood it. But she would always give away, she'd give lavish gifts to her celebrity friends on her show. Like, she'd have Oprah on the show and give her a gift.
I've never seen her show, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But she would do. That's what she would do. She would have Jennifer Aniston on the show and give her a $500,000 something.
What's wrong with that?
Why is she giving celebrities big gifts?
She grown. She can do what she want to do. I mean, why is that a problem? Why you gonna cancel somebody for spending their money?
No, I'm not saying she should be canceled for it, but I always thought it was weird, because it's like she tried to cultivate an image of, look at me, I'm so nice. And I think it is.
I think everybody does that. Who's in the public spotlight? They paint themselves, in one way, when in actuality they're sleaze buckets. You never would have thought that Armie Hammer was a fucking cannibal if you just gauged him based on you seeing him in interviews and all that kind of stuff.
No,
He's very charming and engaging. You know what I mean?
Okay. But I guess what I'm saying, I'm trying to illustrate my point of Ellen. I always thought she's a great person. In fact, when I used to write songs, back in the day, I once wrote a song saying, I said something like, I would like to have dinner with Ellen DeGeneres or something like that.
I wouldn't.
Well, you wouldn't. But I was a fan, like a big fan.
Okay.
So I just thought she would be a nice person to hang out with. But, there's a possibility that everybody who worked for her, they could be telling lies, just trying to bring her down. But at the same time, I'm like, there's probably a great deal of truth to it. She didn't strike me as that kind of person, but there are many stories of outrageous behavior from celebrities that you just don't seem to. You wouldn't guess they were like that until people who are not famous tell you, "Oh, she's like this." You know, so I believe it, and it's very sad for me because I like Ellen, but yeah, she probably should have been canceled for that.
Okay. All right. Next on the list is J.K. Rowling. Okay, J.K. Rowling, of course, that's the lady who wrote the whole Harry Potter phenomenon and created all that. She was canceled in 2020 for tweeting transphobic remarks on Twitter, and that really put her. They really pissed off her LGBTQ um, fans to the point where HBO severed their ties with her on the Harry Potter reunion. So you go from being the Harry Potter billionaire person to being ostracized for transphobic comments. Go. I don't know much about J.K. Rowling, so I really don't care. I've never watched a Harry Potter movie, so I really don't know what the hubbub was about. So go.
Yeah, neither have I. I think I might be missing out because they seem like they might be very interested, but yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it myself. But my thoughts on this situation are that if you're somebody like J.K. Rowling, and you know that you have these fans, and I mean, you've actually. What I do know about her is that she comes out to say things like, "Oh, this character is gay. This character in my book is gay," and people didn't know that before.
Oh, was Harry
Oh, this
Potter
person,
gay?
huh?
Was Harry Potter gay?
I don't think Harry Potter was gay, but I think there are some other characters that she has come out and said, "Oh, this person's gay, or this person's trans, or whatever." The point is, when you come out and say things like that, you have you have fans, uh, in this community. Even if you have, even if you have transphobic or anti-gay or anti-whatever beliefs, don't say them. Okay, you shouldn't have them, but if you do, don't express them and expect it to be okay. Don't do that, really, because what you're doing is you're alienating your fan base, and also you're just being flat out mean. And that's kind of the crux of what I've been trying to say this whole time. Don't be mean. Don't say mean stuff. Just don't. She can be transphobic all day long, and nobody will know if she didn't say anything. Don't say it. You deserve to be canceled for saying things that is uh, pretty much antithetical to your entire fan base. Don't do it. You have the image of being inclusive. Keep the image, okay? Even if you don't feel that way, keep the image, okay?
I have no concept of J.K. Rowling, so I'm going to go ahead and side with you on this because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
All right.
All right, enough about that nigga. All right, next on the list we have the baby.
No, baby.
The baby is a rapper whom I've never heard a song of, so I have really no concept of his music. But anyways, following a bizarre homophobic rant at the Rolling Loud Festival in July, music festivals across the United States dropped the baby from their lineup. His credit on the remix of Dua Lipa's hit song Levitating was also removed, which effectively erased the fallen 30-year-old rapper from some Billboard charts, reports, so on and so forth. I am not a fan of DaBaby because I've never heard of anything from DaBaby. I might have heard something from him, I just didn't know it was DaBaby because I didn't care. So I care less about him being canceled because I didn't know he was a big enough name to be canceled. But apparently he is because he made this damn list, and I could give a fuck. Go.
Yeah, I know I've heard something from DaBaby, but I don't know what it is because I think DaBaby is a horrible name. I don't care if it's your rap name. Why the heck, if you're a grown man, why do you want to be called DaBaby? That's horrible. I never understood that. I know and also there's another rapper in the same freaking genre, like trap or whatever, who's called Lil Baby. So you're DaBaby, and the other guy's Lil Baby. And of course we have Birdman, who also goes by Baby. So Lots of babies in the rap game.
Birdman about 90 years old, ain't he?
Huh?
Hey, Birdman about 90?
Yeah, he's something like that. But
Put some big. Oh, I'm sorry. Put some respect on his name. Respect on his name. Shit.
well, he
Gonna
also
find you.
got canceled for mistreating Tony Braxton, didn't he?
I don't know. Don't care.
Yeah, I don't know what Tony Braxton saw in him, but she was with him at some point.
He said he sleeps on $1 million, so that's why. So, cause Tony Braxton has some money problems. So if you got money problems, you'll lay down with a nigga who got $1 million in his mattress.
Okay. Well, anyway, Da Baby. Yeah, the problem. Well, okay, it's kind of complicated when it comes to somebody like Da Baby or anybody like that. I keep saying it like I was Da Baby, but I keep saying Da Baby. It's complicated because, if we're being honest, rap hasn't been known to be very
No, it hasn't.
pro anti-LGBTQ
No.
IA plus.
No.
So
But you want to tell Lil Nas X that?
well, he knows that, which is why he goes and
Knew was
does-
never really rooting for me anyway.
right. He knows that. That's why he's so provocative. So it's weird that he'll be canceled for something that nearly every rapper out there says and thinks. I think that's kind of strange.
I think it was more about the context and where it happened and how it happened and the platform that he was on when he did it.
Well, yeah, he shouldn't get up on stage and say, "I know what he said."
Yeah.
And it was extremely stupid to get up on stage and say that.
Yeah.
If you said it in the interview, it's a little different. Not that it should be excused, but if you were like saying that in an interview, like, on Sway's World or whatever, he will be canceled for that too. But at the same time, it's a different situation because it's a different audience. But when you actually get up on stage in front of all kinds of people, and that community is out there, basically you're saying, I hate you guys. I don't care if you came to my show and you paid money to see me. I hate you. Shouldn't do that. So again, like I said, don't be mean. Don't say stupid stuff. He deserves to be canceled.
Okay. Like I said, I have no concept of this fucker, so I really don't know what to say because I've never purposely heard anything from Da Baby. So.
But I will ask you this.
But.
So it's like I said, rap isn't very very kind to that community. So do you think it's?
What do you mean that community?
You
You can get canceled for saying that.
I'm saying that community.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, I mean, okay. The way I said that was weird, but I'll tell you why I said that. I said that community because, if we're being honest, it's kind of hard to say.
Careful. You're teetering on the edge, man.
Nobody. How can I be canceled? Nobody knows who I am. But either way, it's hard to say LGBTQ.
Make you famous overnight.
Huh?
And make you famous overnight.
Yeah, I guess I could be, but it's hard to say that over and over again. That's why I said that community.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't just talking about trans people, and he was not just talking about gay people. He was talking about all kinds of people. So I said that community. It's a community that I'm not part of, and I can't continually say that over and over again. Like if I offended anybody by saying that, I'm sorry. Anyway, the point is.
See. How insidious this shit is, man. Hell yeah.
I wouldn't say it's insidious. I mean,
You apologizing now? What you mean?
I mean, it's not insidious.
Mr. Mill Cooper?
I totally understand it. I understand why people get upset about these things. I really do. So.
Faggot. Okay, I said it. Okay, just so you don't have to say it, I'll say it. Just like Tarantino says, nigga. To take the pressure off his actors. Faggot. I just said faggot. Okay.
Now, why did you say that?
Because you're skirting around the word, man. And we're talking about this situation.
He He didn't say that. That's actually not what he said. You just went ahead and said it.
Oh, I
He
assume
didn't
that's
say
what he
that.
said because I haven't heard the comment.
That's not what he
So
said.
what did he
I'll tell you
say?
He said, and I'm not going to say the words he said, but he said,
What?
he said something along the lines of, I ain't down with no nigga who be on here sucking, you know, I don't want no nigga sucking, basically is what he said.
Mm-hmm. Dick.
Yes, he was continually saying that.
Well, I don't think you're not going to get canceled for using the word dick.
No,
That's not a cancellation word.
No, I'm not. No, but
But the context in which you used it got him canceled.
What he was saying was basically, I don't like gay men. Is what he was saying. I don't like gay people.
Okay.
Basically, is what he was saying.
Okay.
So that's why he got canceled. He didn't say the F word.
Oh, I thought he said the F word.
He did. No.
So if I offended anyone out there by assuming that the baby used the F word, I apologize. Don't cancel me.
What Lonzo got canceled for his name is short now.
Oh, man, that's the world we live in. Okay, all right. So those incendiary comments by the baby got him canceled. So what? All right. Ain't like 40 years from now, folks will be playing your music anyway. So no big deal.
What?
Ain't like what?
What'd you say?
I said it's not like 40 years from now, folks gonna be playing the baby's music, and reminiscing. Ooh, remember when the baby was the baddest rapper on the planet? That's never gonna happen. So
maybe not.
But the Moonwalkers music is gonna be played 40 years from now. Prince's music is gonna be played 40 years from now. There's a difference. All right. Anyways, next on the list, Ozzy Osbourne's music is gonna be played 40 years from now. And that brings us to the last person on our list, Sharon Osbourne. Yeah, if some folks out there saying, who? Sharon Osbourne is the wife of, I don't know if she's still married or not, wife or ex-wife, still married, of Ozzy Osbourne, who obviously is the lead singer of Black Sabbath and, a music legend. Anyways, and they had their own reality show that made them big stars and everything. She got canceled for defending Piers Morgan against charges of racism on her show called The Talk. She managed to brand herself as someone with questionable racial views, and she repeatedly interrupted co-host Cheryl Underwood, who was black, in a fiery exchange, and she soon after left the show permanently and was accused by actors such as Leah Remini and Holly Robinson Peete of using racial and homophobic slurs. So, Sharon Osbourne got outed for defending a racist because she's racist too. Okay, fine. Go. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do if you're racist? Defend other races? Okay. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I remember this kind of, sort of, and my thoughts about it are, yeah, Sharon Osbourne's racist. Yeah. I mean, don't we know that? I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's new here. There's a lot of folks that's racist that we know about in the public eye.
I mean, as it goes, isn't Ozzy Osbourne racist? I mean, isn't...
I don't know if he'd pissed on the Alamo, so, he's banned from San Antonio for life.
Yeah. I mean, so Ozzy is another one of those incendiary artists who did things just to rile people up, like Marilyn Manson.
So by the way, Ozzy Osbourne's album, The Ultimate Sin, was highly underrated. Great album. Listen to it sometime. Go.
What album do I like by him?
I don't know, but The Ultimate Sin was really good.
Osmosis, I believe it is. That was an album that I remember listening to and really liking. Anyway, so I don't know if Ozzy himself is racist, but he probably is. I don't know. But
allegedly.
We know that his kids basically are. Because his kids, years ago were saying nigger and all this, being racist. So it's not too hard to believe that Sharon Osbourne is also racist. And the way that she defended this Piers Morgan guy, who we know is pretty much a racist because he always says racist things, for her to defend him, he's my friend, he's not racist. Yeah, he is, and so are you. I mean, yeah, and she was never very nice to Cheryl Underwood, and Holly Robinson always, she said that the woman wasn't very nice to her either. Um, and the talk, or I guess it was the talk, right? Yeah, the talk. That show was pretty much problematic because people would get fired for speaking their mind about things and not doing what that woman Julie Chen was wanted. So I mean, it's just that was kind of a toxic show to begin with. So yeah,
Never seen it.
she well, in my line of work, I have to see it. So I know what goes on, and
What goes on? Well,
yes, we're not talking about that masterpiece. We're talking about this piece of trash called The Talk. Um, it's a garbage show, and I'm not sure why it's still on. Now the whole cast has been changed except for Cheryl. Cheryl's the only one who's still on the show. Um, but yeah, Sharon Osbourne wouldn't put it past her. Yeah, she's racist. Why would you defend a racist because he's your friend? Okay, you don't. People they go to these links to defend people because they're like, I know his character. You don't know him. I know him. But anybody can go and watch the Piers Morgan show and listen to the horrible things that he says about black people. And we know British people in general are kind of racist. So, come on now. Yeah, she deserved the case.
I know who Piers Morgan is, but I've never watched his show. I've never listened to him say anything. So I know nothing. I know of him, but I know nothing about him. So
He said a lot of racist things, and his main target is Meghan Markle. And people hate her because what? She's black and part of the royal family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, racist all the way.
Was she still part of I thought they left the royal family.
They didn't leave the family, but they like left the like they're not part of the duties. She's still
Yeah, they was like, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah, but she's still the Duchess. Like she's not even Meghan Markle anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She's Meghan Duchess of whatever. So.
The Duchess of what? What was her name? Duchess of Thirst? What was it? Duchess what?
I don't. I can look it up real quick.
I know.
I don't. She is Meghan.
Sussex. That's it. Sussex. I know it had some sort of pun type sound to it where you could relate it to something incendiary and make fun of her with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a Duchess of Sussex. Suck it. See what I'm saying? Sussex. It's Sussex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, people will probably say Duchess of Sucket.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
say that she is, and they do think that she's only married to Harry for fame. And, it is Harry, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I think, was it Harry or the other one?
I think it's Harry, yeah.
Okay. Who cares? I really don't care.
I don't really care either. But the point is, she's a main target because she's black.
Of course.
Even the royal family hates her because she's black.
Of course.
So
I mean, what part of that shit is new? I'm trying to figure that out.
That's what I'm saying. If you know why Piers Morgan was attacking her. Piers Morgan's a racist. Why in the world are you over here defending this man when you know he's a racist? You got to be too, because I know you probably hate her too because you're British. So there we go.
All right, so there you have it. That's the list of folks that got canceled in 2021. As you can tell, it's a very incendiary topic of discussion. People use terms such as cancel and woke and all this kind of stuff as buzzwords to further propagate their opinions and or racist or homophobic views on the audience and everything to rile their audiences up to follow their rhetoric and things of that nature. So that being said, there are a list of people out there that I personally would like to see canceled. But I narrowed it down to the top 3 people I would like to see canceled. They'll probably never be canceled or really need to be canceled. You got anybody on your before I go over my list, my personal list, anybody that you want to point out that needs to be canceled? I'm sure there's probably one that we all know, but go
The
ahead.
main one, yes. But I
Yeah.
can tell you basically all of everybody who I think should be canceled, they're all politicians. I'll say that. Nothing but politicians.
Well, some politicians have been canceled recently. You know, what's the name? The Franken guy got canceled.
But see, what did he get canceled for though? He got canceled for what?
Wasn't like fondling
Sexual
people or something,
impropriety.
or what?
Huh?
Wasn't he like trying to
What?
fondle people or something, or what?
I don't think he liked to fondle people. I think it was like one woman,
Mm-hmm.
and he stepped down, and okay, but don't they all?
Yeah.
It's just the thing is, not everybody steps down and not everybody's canceled. And there's a double standard. And Al Franken, being a Democrat and actually being a really good politician, he stepped down, out of his own moral duty. So, no, I don't think he deserved to be so much canceled, but
What about I mean, there are some other folks, not just folks who maybe not in the political arena. What about the guy Charlie Rose got canceled? Couldn't keep his hands to himself. What was it? The other dude that was on the news. Matt Lauer. Yeah.
Yeah. So these people deserve it because anytime you use your power to
Louis C.K.
oh yeah, he deserved to be canceled. I remember I bought tickets to see that dude. At Selma.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
The ultimate.
Bill freaking Cosby.
Yeah.
Man, it breaks my heart. But usually crimes of a sexual nature, they're gonna get you canceled quickly. Usually. And again, victims. You should believe the victims. But at the same time, sometimes,
Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein. Is he dead yet?
Nah, I think him and his brother both got canceled. Both of the Weinstein brothers got canceled.
And for good reason.
Yeah, I think he was like the biggest name out there that so far has been canceled by the Me Too movement.
I mean, and people try to vilify the Me Too movement. I think it's great. I think like anything, you can go too far, and people come out of the woodwork saying things who are actually just trying to destroy people.
Well, Chris Noth will tell you that.
Yeah. Allegations may not be real, and that's where, the slippery slope there. But at the same time, it's been going on.
Jussie?
Come on now. Come on now.
He tried it and didn't get away with it. He tried to get folks Who was he trying to get canceled? I mean, he was just, I don't know. That's crazy.
I think he was trying to get Trump and MAGA canceled because that was his main thing at first. Because he came out saying that he was beaten up by MAGA people.
Mm-hmm.
They were wearing MAGA hats and said, "This is Trump country." So
at least he tried. Nice try there,
that's
Jussie.
what he was trying to do, but it was so dumb. And that, for one thing, that most likely like hurt the cause.
Yeah.
Because
like the boy who cried wolf.
If it hadn't been for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, can't nobody, now when a MAGA person, go and beat up, somebody or whatever, now they can get away with it. But hey, remember Jussie? They lying. So.
Yeah. He doesn't deserve to do anything else with his life ever again.
And and it gave the right wing folks, the Trump people, that moment in the sun where they can be like, see?
Yeah. My advice to anybody who's going against MAGA, if you're going to do that, be real.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
Because it just hurts the cause. Just don't.
You got to come with all of it. Yeah, you got to bring all the smoke.
Yeah. And don't be an idiot like this dumb black boy. And he actually made black people look bad. He made gay people look bad. He made Democrats look bad. He made everybody look bad.
Yeah, because everybody jumped on the bandwagon. They're going to use him as a poster child for So yeah, I mean, he had positioned himself really, to really capitalize on all that stuff. but it just turns out that it wasn't true. And I don't know if you saw him, when in at his elocution or whatever. He was like, he still to the very end, like, nah, I ain't, it's. he's still sticking. He's still sticking with the lie. So
To this day, he is actually.
Yeah. He's so at least he's like, I ain't going down without a fight. I ain't gonna admit shit.
He has mental problems. That's all that I can
I
think
ain't
of.
admitting shit.
He has to have some mental problems.
You might lock me up, but damn it, I ain't gonna admit to it.
He'll be
all this evidence. I ain't gonna admit this shit.
He'll be 76 years old one day, still saying, "Yeah, it happened."
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Maybe on his deathbed he'll admit, "Okay, I lied."
Pete Rose went 30 years and finally, damn, okay, fuck it, I did it.
Like, but he was early on in this this thing here, so. But this day and age, oh man, I can't understand why people will do things like that. And he deserved to be canceled. He's one of the people who deserves it, and I think lots of people deserve it. But like I said, politicians, mainly they're a countless amount of politicians I can think of who need to be canceled right now, and I hope they are one day. And we just need to stop giving a platform to the worst people in the country, in the world really, but in the country, because we see extremism everywhere. We got to stop it.
That being said,
I will say one thing before you go on.
Mm-hmm.
Woke. The word woke.
Mm-hmm.
To anybody who says you hate wokeism, so-called wokeism, or woke politics, this is woke anything, you are saying I hate black people.
Yes.
The word woke is our word. It has been our word long before this. It was our word back in the 90s. Woke, think about it. White people, think about the word woke. Would you ever hear a white person say, I'm woke? Where would that come from? A black person would say woke. Why is that? That's part of AAVE, isn't it? It is our word. And it was not meant to be something to be thrown around like trash. It was basically, we see what's going on, we see who's against us, and we see we are now awake. We now see that we will no longer be taken for granted. We'll no longer, fall prey to any of this trash people trying to take us down. We are woke. Now, these days, white people use that as just kind of a buzzword to say, oh, being a good person, basically, is being woke. Catering to any, acknowledging any non-white, non-straight male community is being woke. That's what they say, but really it means we hate black people. We hate anybody who's not white, who's not straight. So I hate anybody who says I hate wokeism. I hate being woke. I hate wokeness. Forget that. We should all be woke. And that's my word. That's all I have to say about that.
Well said. Yeah.
What's funny? What's funny? Why'd you laugh?
No, I ain't laughing, man. I'm laughing because I'm laughing. I'm not saying what you're saying was funny. I'm laughing as in ha. Anyways, yeah, woke is kind of like thug. You know what I mean? Where when somebody calls somebody a thug, we're really saying is nigger.
Yep.
So woke is the same way. They use that's just their way of being racist without getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that, we see through that bullshit. So that's all I can say about that. If you're out there listening, we see through that bullshit. So if you come in and you talking about I hate wokeism, I know exactly what you're saying. So don't think that you're getting over by saying that, because you're not.
And people really think that it's acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I don't care where you are. There are people I work with who say I hate wokeness, and I hate the people I work with. and they can hear this and be like, oh, we hate you. But okay, great. There are certain people, not everybody. There are certain people I work with who say that, and I hate you for it. So listen to this, and you'll know I'm talking about you.
Right on. Okay. Like I said before, there's a lot of folks out there that deserve to be woke. Okay, but there are 3 people on my list that I think really deserve to be woke. So once again,
You mean cancel?
cancel. I'm sorry. Yeah, it can need to be canceled. There are a lot of folks that need to be canceled, but nobody deserves it more than no one on my list of people that need to be canceled. Tommy Lauren. I cannot stand this motherfucker, boy. Tommy Lauren, please.
She's not the worst.
No, she's not the worst, but just I guess because she's white and blonde and such a fucking bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Oh, if you look up bitch in the dictionary, you're gonna have her name, address, social security number, DNA, profile, everything. This motherfucker. So I'm thinking it's got to be an act, because nobody can be that much of a bitch 24/7. It's got to be an act. She's probably the nicest person in America. You know what I'm saying? She probably like super nice. You know what I mean? And it's probably all just an act. She probably just as crunk as anybody. She probably listening to the baby right now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised. What?
I believe she probably is listening to the baby.
Yeah.
She strikes me as a rap fan. In fact, I know she's a rap fan. She had Wale on her show one time.
Oh, really?
And Wale called her Tammy because he was being mean to her, because he was trying to I guess be the dissenting voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept calling her Tammy, and she was mad, and she was like, "It's Tommy." Like, okay, Tammy. So now we call her Tammy, because I don't like Wale, but I give him props for that.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the odds she's caught some black dick?
12.
Yeah, I think she don't caught some. I really think I think it's all just act, because can't nobody be that fucked up on purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think she's caught quite a bit. That's just me. But yeah, I think she needs to be canceled. Just for being a fucked up individual, she needs to be canceled. You know what I mean?
She's not the only one though. I mean, when it comes to
I know that.
People, no, I'm saying when it comes to that type of person though,
mm-hmm.
You know, those types of women. What's her name? Kayleigh McEnany.
Yeah, that's another one.
She was one of those types of fake pundits,
mm-hmm.
and these fake podcasts and crap.
Mm-hmm.
And before she became something in the Trump cabinet, that's what she was doing. The same time.
A Trump liar.
Yeah, liar.
Yeah.
She was doing the same thing, and she strikes me as the same type of person who's just playing a role.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, because if playing that role, is putting digits in your checking account, I understand. I don't like it, but I understand.
Also,
what?
Non-white person. Do you know about who I'm about to say?
No, I think that's the next name on my list. So don't ruin it for me, okay?
Go
all
for
right.
it.
So we understand that Tommy Lauren needs to be canceled, but nobody deserves to be canceled more than Candace.
Yes.
What's her last name? Candace what? Johnson?
Owens.
Parker? What?
Owens.
Owens. Candace Owens. This sellout biatch. B-I-E-H.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I mean, but you see, the thing is with her mom's going to come where she's going to realize that she is black, because they going to turn on her at some point.
She knows she's black. She knows she's black.
No.
I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
She knows she's black
mm-hmm.
because the woman, like 10 years ago, something like that, she got paid. It's like she won some kind of settlement alleging racism against black people, her
mm-hmm.
and her black family.
Mm-hmm.
She got paid hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
She knows she's black. If she didn't, she wouldn't have done that. So she's not fronting like she's white. She's just selling herself out. She's just selling out.
Yeah, because once again, if it's putting digits in your checking account, I get it.
She knows that the right wing, they love to hire people who are not generally part of their
so that a token, they can say, look, see.
Yes, they do it on purpose.
Oh, I love Candace. I love her. Oh, I love Herschel.
Oh God.
I love Clarence Thomas. I love what's his name, the guy from South Carolina. That Tim, what's his name?
Tim Scott.
Tim Scott. We love Tim Scott. Ooh, see, so he's so articulate.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, they pick these tokens, and they pay them to say horrible things about their community.
Exactly.
They love it.
Exactly.
They love it. Just to say, see, they're not all bad, and also, you see those guys that we were saying are bad. They must be bad because even black people hate them, or even gay people hate them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. And Candace is just playing the role. It's a grift. It's the grift that keeps on grifting.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, she's clocking major digits. You know, so good for her in that regard.
I have to say, I want something really bad to happen to her.
Yeah, you know, I would like for something bad to happen to her too. You know, but once again, I don't agree with it, but I understand.
I don't even understand it.
Everybody has their price. Everybody has their price. Okay, everybody, even I have a price. You know what I'm saying? It's high, but yeah, if you meet my number, yeah, I'll probably be on my podcast. I hate niggas. Yeah.
Okay, so if
I love Trump.
If Elon Musk came to you today and said, "Hey, I've been listening to your podcast. I really like it, but I would like to hear you. I'd like to hear you say some great things about Trump and about black. I want you to say some horrible things about black people and the gay community and all this stuff, and I'll give you half of my money." Would you do it?
Absolutely.
You know how much Elon Musk is worth.
I absolutely would. In a heartbeat. I absolutely would. And once the check clear, the money's in the bank, there's no way I can lose that money, I will reverse and like, yeah, I said all that to get the money. Fuck you, Elon Musk. I absolutely would. And then I'll turn around and use that money to fight against him.
But you know, people are saying the damage has already been done.
I don't care. I got the money now, so now I can use this money, you know, for a greater good. To feather my nest, of course, make sure that my kids never have to work. But at the same time, I'm gonna also use, you know, this platform and this, you know, this newfound wealth to, you know, to fight this insidiousness. Yes, I would absolutely do that, man. Yeah.
I would think about it at least.
It's enough for me to think about. Yes, I will sign right here. As long as there's no addendum in the if there's no clause in the contract that says, you know, once you get this money, you can never say anything against, you know, the right wing. You know, that's different. You know. Well, then I'm like, nah, wait a minute. What?
I would probably do it too, because
I definitely ain't no probably about it, motherfucker. Hell yeah.
I mean, this is a low price for me. This is a very low price for me, and I'm kind of ashamed for saying it.
What?
Especially in the wake of Dark Brandon coming through. I once said that if Donald Trump in 2020 said, "I will pay off all your student loans. I'll give you the money right now and pay off your student loans. If you vote for me," I once said I would do it.
Yeah, but with him, the check probably bounced. So.
Well, that's why I said he'd have to actually give me the money.
Yeah, it got to be a cashier's check too.
I feel like it had to be a suitcase full of cash.
Yeah, that might be counterfeit. No, it's got to be cashier's check. Yeah. It's got to be a cashier's check, man. That's the only way I take it. Certified funds, baby.
But you know, thankfully I didn't have to do that because, like I said, Dark Brandon, he's coming through. Mm-hmm. So.
Now the whole student loan thing, is it just federal loans or all loans?
It is federal loans,
mm-hmm.
and so it's not all loans.
Okay.
If you don't have if you don't have federal loans, you don't get anything.
Okay.
Thankfully, I do, and.
Yeah, you know, my federal loans is paid off, you know, but my non-federal loans are not. So I'm like, dang, ain't this a bitch?
Yeah, I have non-federal loans too, but I also have, thanks to Brandon, thank you, Brandon, very much, because my federal loans that I got with Pell Grants completely wiped out. So, thank you.
So do we get the money back that we paid for our loans?
Some people can get refunds, yes.
So I need to get a refund then. 'Cause I paid my loan. I paid my federal loan off.
Some people can. I think there's some stipulations. You got to look into that. But yes, some people get refunds.
That's fucked up. Okay.
Um, but anyway, um, yeah, I didn't have to resort to selling my race out for student loan forgiveness. So thanks, Dark Brandon. He's doing it.
Right on. Okay. Obviously, there's one more person on my list I need to talk about. Of course, I'm eating a gummy, so forgive me. But of course, Tommy Lauren needs to be canceled. Candace Owens needs to be canceled. But nobody deserves to be canceled more than, of course, your Lord and Savior, Donald John Trump. Now, you know, if Donald John Trump worked that hard, he'd been canceled so long ago. You know, but all the shit he do is like it's just charge it to the game, motherfucker. This dude got great credit when it comes to the cancellation game, was because ain't nothing sticking to his punk ass. But
let me tell you something.
What?
This is how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Going through what he's going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like, man, there's nothing to live for anymore. There's no reason to even continue like living. Nothing good is gonna happen in life.
Why? I hope you weren't thinking that this whole document thing is gonna bring him down.
That's what I'm saying.
History and fact have taught us that this is not gonna stick.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay. All right.
I'm feeling like there's no reason to live because good things don't happen. Because this man stole. He has the nuclear secrets, basically. And not only that, they got these boxes full of empty folders, meaning that some of those documents are still out there. Either he has them, or he gave them away, or he sold them. Most likely sold them. And what's going to happen? This man's going to become president again.
Nah, he's not going to be president again, but he's not going to prison. He's not going to prison.
No.
That's the point.
Well, if you did it, you'd be in prison. You'd be like, you'd be in prison in the core of the earth right now.
All I know is, I'm looking at it this way, man. The 81 million people that voted for Biden are not going to turn around and vote for Trump. They're not going to turn around and not vote. They're gonna, no matter what, they're going to vote the same way they voted 4 years ago, no matter what Biden has done or will do. They're going to still vote because because if you voted against Trump 4 years ago, there ain't no way you're going to turn around and vote for him in 2 years or whenever the next election is. It ain't going to happen.
No, but
ain't going to happen.
But think about this.
I mean, if you hate squash, if you despise squash, will not eat it for any reason, okay? 4 years later, you find out if you eat squash, you'll live forever. You probably still wouldn't eat squash.
I would.
No, I wouldn't. But the point I'm making is, I think folks kind of miss that point or whatever, and they don't. They kind of look at they don't look at the big picture. They don't understand how this shit really works. Okay? Now, the problem is, we spent the last 2 years since Trump left office putting holes in this boat. And we're going to continue to do that for the next 2 years. All right?
Yeah.
Even though he's still going to have the nomination. But we're going to attach so much stink and so much ridicule and so many holes in that boat that he's going to spend all his time plugging up holes. Okay? All right. So as long as Biden is awake and alert, they can prop him up in front of a teleprompter and him not totally fuck it up, he will get a second term. He will.
I think this is optimism. Because for one thing, think about this.
What?
The thing that made 2020 unique was the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And even Republicans voted against Trump because of the way he was handling the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Now that that's largely behind us, they have no reason not to vote for him. So, Republicans are all in.
everybody that voted for Trump in 2020 are going to vote for Trump again. Everybody that voted for Biden, okay, in 2020 are going to vote for Biden again.
No, they're gonna be a lot of people who voted for Biden in 2020 who are not voting at all, and there are gonna be people who didn't vote for Trump and didn't vote for Biden, and they're not going to vote this time. And there are people who would have voted for Trump but decided to vote for Biden because of the pandemic, who are not going to vote this time, or they're going to vote some other way. But we're going to have a smaller turnout in 2024, and if Trump is on the ballot, he's probably going to win. And
Donald John Trump would never be president again.
And the only way he's not going to win is if DeSantis runs, or some other lunatic.
You know, DeSantis is definitely going to run. He's definitely going to run. That's a wrap.
Well,
that's a wrap.
If DeSantis,
he'd be stupid not to.
Okay, if DeSantis runs, DeSantis is going to beat Biden. I promise you.
Oh yeah, of course. I just see that's the thing, man. Me personally, no. I'm saying if it's Trump, if it's Biden versus Trump, Trump beats Biden. The point is, man. I just don't want Trump to be president. I don't care if a Republican is president or not. I just don't want to be Trump.
No. That's bad. Because if DeSantis gets in there, the thing about DeSantis is that while he's playing the Trump playbook, he's smart. He's different from Trump because he's smart. We don't want somebody who's actually smart to get in there and do the Trump stuff, because that's going to be worse. We will have a dictator. It's going to happen.
They said the same. They said the same shit about Obama. They always tell me he's gonna be a dictator. It's not possible to be a dictator in the United States, and you know why? Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Tell me why. Tell me why, because I don't see that.
For one, this is a democracy. It's still a democracy. Democracy is not going to go away. Okay. Now, for there to be a dictatorship, then you got to control the military in order for there to be a military.
Yes, and guess what?
Hold up. Let me finish.
Military's all in on Trump.
Let me finish, because you talking to somebody who used to be in the military. Okay. All right. Who spent 7 years of his life active military. All right, and 14 years as a reservist. All right. It don't matter who's president. Okay. There ain't no one person that will be in that office that will convince, okay, a military member to turn against his own. Okay. Just because they say so. It just wouldn't happen. And I'm saying it as somebody who's been there. It would not happen. Ever. Okay? You can take my word for that if you want, or you can not. All right? There's a lot of black folks in the military, dude. All right? So they're not going to take arms up against their own kind for Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or any fucking body else. Okay? There's a limit to this shit. Now, when you say dictator, as far as being able to, to pass policies that run counter to what you think is productive, I get that, yeah. But when it comes to a dictatorship, no, because a dictator never leaves office.
Yeah.
Okay. A dictator is able to take folks and kill them. Okay. If they try to oppose them, there will never be a dictator, because I'm telling you right now, There will never be a dictator in the United States, because we as a people will take up arms, against that to make sure it never happens. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have Democrats and Republicans. Now there might be more Democrats than Republicans. Yeah, I get all that. Or more Republicans than Democrats, and whatever. I get all that. But once again, they just will not allow that to happen. From a military standpoint, and so if it was a situation where a president can have that kind of control over the military, then I say, yeah, it could be a dictatorship. But in today's society, in the United States of America, no effing way. This country will burn down first. It would definitely be a civil war. It would just never happen, man. Ever. Never. You and I wouldn't allow that to happen. You and I would take up arms against that.
Indeed, but
I'm saying, and there's a lot of folks who, once again, especially in the black community, no fucking way. No way.
But let's think about this though. I know exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And I am hopeful about that, but at the same time, let's think about.
Okay, once again, I'm sorry. Let me qualify this by saying, okay, somebody who was in the military. So when I was in the military, during the Reagan and Bush years or whatever, right? If there had been a situation where I'm in the Air Force or whatever, and tomorrow, okay, Reagan says it's going to be a dictatorship. I'm never leaving office, and the military is going to work at my command and go into go into people's homes and go into the streets and martial law, kind of shit. I'd have been like, fuck you. Hell no, I'm not doing that. And everybody I know that I've ever met in the military that worked with me in the military would be the exact same way. Fuck you. Clack, clack. It just wouldn't happen, man.
Okay, so do you remember recently when all the generals put together this memo saying that there is a wave of extremism in the military and we watch out? People who are loyal to Trump and are plotting against us. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
But JoJo from Buckhead and from Bankhead that joined the military who joined the army to get the GI Bill and get out of the hood. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Those dudes, no matter what the generals are, a general is not a general is a figurehead. A general's not in the trenches with us. A general can't come into the squadron and say we're gonna do this. Man, we'll beat your ass. Get the fuck out of here.
No, the generals were warning against it. They were saying that there were people within the ranks.
No.
Who were plotting.
No.
There's a wave of extremism and they were plotting against it.
Dude. Okay, when I was in the military, there was a wave of extremism. There was a lot of racists when I was in the military. There was a lot of them. A lot of motherfuckers just like who probably that I served with who love Trump now, who are the same way in the military. Everybody's like, fuck them motherfuckers, man. They ain't gonna do shit. Cause if they ever tried to do anything, we'd have off the motherfuckers, man, for real. For real. Once again, you talk to somebody who's been there, who lived it. Okay? We policed ourselves. So all that bullshit you read on TV, you read and see on TV, all this kind of shit. Nah, we policed ourselves when I was in the military, and I know that shit has not changed that much. Cause my ear is still to the ground, cause a lot of my friends that I served with are still in the military. Okay, we policed ourselves. So there was never a situation where somebody can come to us and give us an unlawful order or say, hey, take up guns and now go into the streets and there's gonna be martial law. Fuck you.
So how about when
never would happen. So what?
How about when Trump went and stood in front of the church with the Bible, and all the people with the shields and such went out and beat people in the streets?
Okay.
Why did that happen?
Okay. Was he imposing martial law? Was he standing there saying I'm a dictator, I'm taking over, and I'm never leaving? No.
No, but that was
No.
that was a
No.
that
No.
was
No.
that was a sign of something.
No.
And
No.
And what?
No.
And now I know the police are a little different from the military.
No.
But the police sure did let the extremists come into the Capitol, didn't they? So
Trump wasn't trying to take over the country. Okay? It's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
If you're taking over the government, then you're taking over the country. That was the whole point of the insurrection, taking over the government.
All right, so I'm speaking to someone who's never been in the military, so this is a fruitless conversation. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And let you believe what you believe, but I know better.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay. You think that if the insurrection was a success and Trump was installed as a figurehead and you got Congress all in on that, like Viva Trump. You think the military. I know the folks that the folks that I served with in the military would never let that happen. I know that. And as a former military man myself, I know that's something that I would never allow to happen. But if you want to believe different, that's on you. Okay? No. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question here.
What?
Do you really think that if the insurrection had been a success,
that was never going to be a success, man. Come on, man. Live in reality for a second.
It was not going to be.
Okay.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, let's say we have Insurrection Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, and it happens soon. Um,
Ollie and Jerry. Ollie and Jerry doing the theme song.
Turbo and Ozone. The and this happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somehow Trump is installed as a figurehead, and you know everybody in Congress is behind it. They're like, yes, we love it. You think there will be an uprising in the military to stop it?
You asked me that question. I already gave you my answer, man. I know. Ain't no think. There's not even a think. That's not even a think.
Everybody in the military. You think everybody in the military is going to stand up and take the government back?
What you mean? There's nothing to take back because it's never going to lose it. You got to keep in mind, man. The military made up of dudes like me and you. Okay? Dudes like me and you. There are kids right now who are seniors in high school. Okay? Who are going to be in the Army next, in a few months. In the Air Force and Navy and the Marines. That is who the military is comprised of. People like me and you. There are far more people like me and you than them. That's why it's called extremism, because it's on the fringes. All right? There are more folks like me and you who grew up with black and white friends, grew up in a normal society with normal thoughts, with good upstanding parents who joined the military because they love their country and or they want the GI Bill and all the shit that go with it. Or they're going there because they need a job to get out the hood. Okay? They don't give a fuck about all that other bullshit you're talking about. All right? It's a job just like working at Target. Being in the military like working at Target. That's okay, but the difference is your employer is United States of America and it's not Target. You gotta keep that in mind, man. Well, a lot of folks they attach this symbolism to being in the military, man, that just ain't fucking there. It's a fucking job. It's a job, just like any other job you work. The only difference is, man, it's just a little bit more rigid. Okay.
Well, what you're saying is this, though. You're saying that it's like a job at Target. So if some extremist Muslims or whatever came and took over the Target employees are not going to try to take the Target back. They're going to go, this is a job, I'm going home.
Exactly. I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. Yeah, I'm not gonna go and take arms against my mother and brother and sister because you told me to. That's the point. Because I'm from Randall Heights, Alberta. So if I'm in the Air Force back in 1988 and they say, okay, it's gonna be a dictatorship, that means I gotta take up arms against Randall Heights and folks that I grew up with, so on and so forth. My family and friends. I gotta turn my back on all that. That's the point I'm trying to make, man. Make it make fucking sense. If you can make it make sense, man, then I'll go with you. Make it make fucking sense. Like I said before, folks have this romanticized image of the military. Things like John Wayne and Tom Hanks and all this kind of shit, dying on the hill for their country with a fucking flag in their hand. When that ain't fucking so. It's a fucking job like flipping burgers at motherfucking Hardee's. Only difference is you're doing it for your country. You can pay, but you've been getting paid by the government, and there's a different set of things you got to go through to get there. Okay? That's all it is, man. It's a fucking job. You wake up in the morning, you go to work, you clock out at 4 o'clock like everybody else. And you go do what the fuck it is you got to do. It's just a different environment. And that was one of the shocks to my system when I joined the military. I'm thinking, I had that same idolized version of it. But once I got into the military, I'm like, this is just a fucking job. That's all it was. A job. Okay? All right? And that's what I'm saying. The millions and millions of members of the United States military are folks just like me and you. For every extremist, for every 10 extremists, there's 1,000 dudes like me and you. So as long as there are thousands and thousands, millions and millions of dudes like me and you in the military, it will never be a dictatorship in America because we ain't about that life. That's the point. And if you can't understand that, man, then that's just a conversation we can't have. But take somebody who fucking been there and did that. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. You got to, man. Anyways. Okay, we 2 hours and a half in. So you talking about, how are we going to talk about cancel culture? I told you, man, this is a conversation that takes that takes flight on its own, man. And there's just so many different tentacles to it that you can always talk about it and have different opinions, because we talk about a lot of different things within the last hour and a half or 2 hours and a half. So you got any more thoughts before we sign off?
FDT, let's cancel him, put him. I want him to go to jail. I want him to go to jail. We gotta get rid of him somehow. This is ridiculous. He is the absolute worst, and it's making me lose faith in everything.
Well, we know he's the worst. He's proven himself to be the worst since 2016, because everything he's did has run counter to everything that, you know, us real people hold near and dear. And like I said, the folks who support him and everything, obviously there are millions that support him, but there are millions more, and Biden proved that. There are millions more who said enough is enough and voted for Biden, even if maybe it was against their own personal interest. They voted against Biden. I mean, they voted for Biden as a vote against Trump. So I don't see that changing to an extreme, to a point where Trump is going to win, get reelected. If Trump gets the nomination again, I think it'll be an actual landslide, because folks will be even more determined to vote for Biden just to prove that it wasn't a fraud back in 2020, like he said. Just for that, just to say I told you so. If nothing else, see, this motherfucker was lying. Okay, now, because you know this is going to be, the next election is going to be the most scrutinized when it comes to voting integrity ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think, you honestly think now think about it, how the world's going to look, how it's going to feel to be in America if, you know, by some stroke of luck, Trump won, then that's going to validate 2020 for him and all those motherfuckers that drive you nuts now. Okay? Now, do you think anybody wants to see that happen? Because you know how it's going to be. It's going to be insufferable living in America if that happens. Think about that, man. Folks will vote against Trump just so that won't happen. Just so they can't say, look, 2020 was a fraud. Because if that happens, man, that means there will never, ever, ever, well, I say never, it'll be very difficult to ever have an election where somebody's not going to say, if the Republicans lose, it's a fraud. If Trump wins in 2024. They will have that precedent now. See what happened? We pointed out in 20, Trump got voted in 2024, and they will ride that shit into the freaking ground, man.
Yeah.
So there's just so many tentacles to this shit, man. I'm not a political pundit, but I live in the real world, and I live in a world where folks will vote against their own interests, you know, at the drop of a dime, if it's to serve a greater good. Cause I'm telling you right now, if it was Biden against anybody except Trump in 2020, I would have voted against Biden. Absolutely would have.
I mean, I wouldn't say anybody else, because I mean it could have been, you know, somebody.
If it was Ted Cruz versus Biden, I would have voted. If it was Ted Cruz versus Biden, I would have voted for Biden. I mean, I would have voted for Cruz.
Why? Because that dude doesn't even have a spine.
The point I'm making, that's an extreme, but the point I'm making is, man, I did not vote for Biden. I voted against Trump. That's exactly the point. That's the point.
To say that if it were Biden versus Cruz.
I didn't even know what Biden's platform was. I didn't care. I never watched a debate. I never listened. I don't think I even listened to a Biden speech. Yeah, I can tell you to this day what Biden was running on. I didn't care. All I knew is under no circumstances was Donald Trump going to get my vote. Under no circumstance. I'm voting for if Jeff Dahmer would have been the Democratic nominee, he would have gotten my vote. That was the point. And a lot of folks, I'm sure, felt the exact same way I felt. There was no way I was going to vote against Biden. No way. Regardless of what his platform was.
Trump, Biden, and Armie Hammer. You would have voted for Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer.
Wow.
I mean, I felt that. Yeah, I just felt that strongly about it. Under no circumstance, by any means necessary, Trump cannot be allowed to be president again.
Well, there's that, but at the same time, you want to do the right thing, and I don't think the right thing is.
The right thing was voting for Biden. Yes, that was the right thing.
The right thing is not voting for a terrible person. So
See, but the thing is,
You know,
but if I hadn't voted for Biden, then by default it would have been a vote for Trump. That's why I had to
well,
vote for Biden. That's the
right, I
point.
get that. I
Okay.
get that. But at the same time, I know this is a what if situation.
Hmm.
It didn't actually happen.
Hmm.
But like, if it were Ted Cruz, that would have been just as bad as Trump. So
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie and say I would not have voted for Cruz, or I would not have voted at all. I would have just abstained, or voted for a write-in candidate or whatever. But the point I'm making is that under no circumstance was I one not going to vote, two not going to vote for, you know, Biden. I was going to vote and make sure I voted for the Democratic nominee, whomever that person it was, because once again, under no circumstance was I going to allow my vote to help that motherfucker be in office again. So I had to vote for Biden no matter what. So in 2024, okay, whomever the Democratic nominee is, you know what I mean, if Trump is the Republican candidate, I'm voting for that person, be it Biden or whomever else gets the nomination. I'm voting for that person. Period. I will not have to watch a debate, thank God, or whatever, or read about somebody's platform. Don't give a damn. But if
all right.
if DeSantis, if it's DeSantis against Biden, then I'll probably do a little bit more research and try to make a more informed decision. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, because I can tell you, DeSantis is worse than Trump in some ways.
Fine.
So,
But as long as he ain't Trump, I just don't want that person. Ideology be damned. I just don't want that person in office. I don't want to ever see Donald Trump again as president of anything, much less United States of America. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to have to go through 4 years of these sniveling motherfuckers, these MAGA motherfuckers. I can't do it.
same here.
Yeah, can't do it. And like I said, I feel very strongly, and I think this past election proved it out. There are more folks, in this country who don't want to see that happen versus people who do want to see it happen. And the folks who don't want to see that happen will once again make sure on election day they do whatever it takes to keep that motherfucker out of office. Consequences be damned.
I hope you're right.
No, I'm right, man. I said the same shit in 2020. A lot of people go, oh, whatever, Alonzo. I'm telling you, Trump's not going to win. He is not going to win.
Trump had a very strong chance of winning, and the only reason he did not win is because of the pandemic.
No, he did not win because
I'm-
81 million folks said he.
He didn't win because of the pandemic. If the pandemic hadn't happened, he'd be in office right now.
No.
Promise you.
No, folks,
Promise.
the same folks that hated him before the pandemic are folks that hated him during after the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic is low hanging fruit. Okay, that's bullshit.
The pandemic is the reason that he lost.
No, we had folks like we had folks like Stacey Abrams getting everybody registered to vote and getting folks more informed. Yeah, but once again, the pandemic had shit to do about that.
You think so?
I know so, man. Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, once again, it don't take a genius, dude. It don't take a genius.
We've
What?
never had a situation where millions of people were dying every day. We didn't have that. Well, not millions of people dying every day, but you know what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, man, it wasn't just the pandemic. Trump was a sleaze bag with or without the pandemic, and that's the point,
So why did he get voted in?
dude. Folks,
Because of the electoral college, yes.
dude,
But
wait a minute. When you talking about Hillary, when you talking about the whole Hillary thing, man.
Hillary sucked.
No. Hold on. To everybody, man, including me, Hillary winning was a foregone conclusion. So folks stayed home because it's like Hillary's gonna win. There's no way this motherfucker. Hillary led in the polls all the way. Folks just assumed that Hillary was gonna vote. So a lot of folks stayed home because they just assumed no need for me to get my ass. I'm gonna vote because Hillary's gonna win anyway. And then the amazing happened. Everybody's like, what? She fucking lost. That's why folks.
Hillary lost because she sucked.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did suck. But once again, she led in all the polls. Everybody just assumed that she was. I assumed that Hillary was going to win. I voted for her, but I just assumed. Really, I voted for her at the last second. I was like, I wasn't even going to bother going down there to vote. I was like, fuck it, I just go ahead and do it. I mean, I was that convinced. I didn't even watch the election results. I was that certain that Hillary's going to win. Didn't even watch it. And then when it happened, like, what? And I'm assuming that there were a lot of folks just like me who had that same attitude. Why ain't bother? There's no way somebody can vote that racist into the office. There's no way. You know, so I'm just going to stay my black ass home and watch on TV or whatever. What? This motherfucker won? That's what happened, man. Folks stayed home and folks just assumed. But those same folks who stayed home and folks that assumed, they said, okay, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There's like, this shit ain't happening again. In 2020, I'm getting my black ass up and I'm voting. That's what happened. And Stacey Abrams, folk like that, made sure that shit happened. Get your ass up so we don't let this motherfucker sneak in again. Okay? He snuck in. You know, but we let that shit happen again, man. That's the point that I think folks just fail to see, man. Trump got in on a fucking anomaly. All right? An anomaly that was bolstered by laziness and people just assuming. And that's what happened when you assume shit. When the Falcons were leading the Patriots 28-3, folks just assumed that they were going to win the Super Bowl. You can tell the team assumed they was going to win, so they stopped playing hard. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, what? The Patriots came back and won? Same difference. Same difference, man. This is like in a sports analogy, man. When you get a big lead, you're let up. Hillary had a big lead, folks just let up and assumed. You know, but you know, it's never over till it's over. Trump knew that. And that's what got him in. But that's why I'm saying, man, this shit will never happen again, man. Because you used the term yourself. Folks are woke now. They saw that shit happen once. Okay, all right, now I see how important my vote is. I can't just stay home and let everybody else do it. I got to do my part. You know? Because they woke now. Then folks are not going back to sleep, Jake. You said it yourself. We woke now. Especially black folks in America, we fucking woke. We saw what our vote did in Georgia for Raphael Warnock and what's his name, Ossoff. You saw you watched the election results as I did. Because, you know, what's his name? Loeffler and Perdue were like leading. Okay? But once the black counties start counting, when Fulton and Gwinnett and all in the DeKalb, when those results start coming in, how the shit just shifted. That was black folks they did that shit.
Yeah, that's true. But
and that's what happened across America. That's why everybody's saying it was a fraud. That's why they're saying that the whole election was rigged or whatever, man. Because when the Philly votes came in, the Detroit votes came in, the Cleveland votes came in, all those, you know, those large black populated areas started to come in, and we started the tide shift. That's why they were targeting the black community, man. That's why they targeted the black community with this fraud shit. That's why they were saying in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, and Georgia, and these predominantly in these heavy black populated areas is where the fraud took place. Because they saw how the black vote, the minority vote, turned this fucking election. Because we got up off our ass for once. We got up off our ass for Obama. We didn't get off our ass for Hillary. We got off our ass for Biden. And every time black folks get off their asses and vote, the candidate that we vote for fucking wins. Guarantee you that.
Okay.
Promise you that.
Tell me this.
What?
Who's going to win? Warnock or Walker?
Warnock.
You think so?
Yes. I absolutely think so.
Walker's leading right now.
So what? So what? Once again, polls have taught us, if nothing else, that polls ain't shit. Okay? When it comes down to the nut cutting, okay, Walker is not going to win the black vote in Georgia. Yeah, white folks going to vote their ass off for him. Okay? But black folks are not going to vote for Herschel Walker. Warnock is going to win.
In 1980.
What?
So, you know, Walker won a football game in 1980. Therefore, he deserves to win, right? That's how they feel.
No, it's not even that, man. You know, Walker won a championship for the University of Georgia. That's what it is, man. Yeah. It ain't so much about Walker. It's about folks that love the University of Georgia so damn much, okay, that they will vote for Walker just because he wore that G. All right?
And it's dumb. so
Yes,
dumb.
it's very dumb, but that's a fact.
Now,
That's the only reason why he's even in this position. Is because he went to the University of Georgia. If Herschel Walker won the Heisman Trophy for motherfucking Mercer, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be in the position that he's in right now. It was the fact that not only did he win the Heisman Trophy in the national championship, he won it for Georgia. He won it for the G. That's the difference, man. If he went to Kennesaw State, let me give him a fuck.
well, clearly.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
That's what it is. So a vote. So they're not really voting for Herschel. They're voting for the G. That's what they're voting for.
Oh man. Well, people vote for some dumb reasons, and people voting for dumb reasons can get us in some really dumb places.
Yeah.
So I just don't want that to happen.
I don't either. But yeah, I don't see Herschel Walker beating Warnock. No way. I don't see it. Because from all indications, Warnock is doing a solid job. For everything I can see, he's doing a solid job.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because
if Herschel wins, man, not only will he not do a solid job, he won't do a job at all. Somebody else will do it for him. He'll just be a figurehead.
He has no idea what he's supposed to be doing. He doesn't know what he's running for.
Exactly. He will be a figurehead. He will be Senator Walker, but somebody else will be actually doing the work. You know what I'm saying?
And we kind of know who that is.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody knows that. Nobody, it don't take a genius to figure this shit out. Walker is strictly there for the black vote. That's the only reason why they put him there. The only reason why they put a black. There ain't no way in the hell that the state of Georgia, the white right wing will put a black person into a position of power in the state of Georgia unless they knew they had that person under full control. Yeah.
But it's frightening though when you have a total idiot like one of the dumbest people I've ever seen up there possibly becoming a senator. Doesn't even know what he's running for. He has no idea what's happening. Man can even form a coherent sentence. I mean, it's crazy.
See, that's why they run those ads now.
Here's the thing that worries me though. You say black people are not going to vote for him, but I've seen interviews where black people come out there and say, "I'm going to vote. Herschel got my vote because he gave me $50 to pay Piggly Wiggly," or did you see that? Did you see where he gave away his super PAC or whatever, gave away money to black people at the Piggly Wiggly to vote for him? There are people like, he's got my vote. There are also people out there like, he's got my vote because he came out and said, I love God. But you got a whole freaking senator he's a whole pastor, a reverend. And you talk about because Herschel Walker said something about God, you gonna vote for him. Come on now. Black people are...
Man, come on now. Come on. Hey, Jay, you're black. You're black. You know how black folks operate. Yeah, they'll take that $50 or whatever, or buy them some groceries. But when it comes time to vote, they're gonna vote. Fuck this nigga. I got my groceries.
I mean,
now, if Herschel gonna be sending me $50 a month for groceries, for the next 4 years, then yeah, he might get my vote. But one time, them groceries gone. We still hungry today.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, those people were like...
Of course they gonna say that of course they gonna say that for the cameras. Yeah, of course they gonna say that. So what?
I'm like, I'm voting for him.
They once again they saying that shit for the cameras or whatever, man. Come on, man. But you black, you know how we get down. That shit don't even bother me.
I mean, this is one time where no. I would like to have no faith in black people, as in like they're not gonna vote. No, I don't know.
Nah.
That worry.
Nah. We already got a black man in there. Warnock is doing a solid job. He ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
And that's why, they're amping up all these ads. I saw the ad today where they played the recording of Herschel Walker, admitting that he put the gun to his wife's head and he said he's going to kill me and he had that gun in my head. They're starting to amp up on those ads, man. They're going and over the next couple of months, man, they're going to bludgeon us with that shit, man. Let everybody fucking know what Herschel Walker really is. So,
but the thing is though, those ads don't work against the base.
Of course not. You you ain't going for the base, man. Come on, you know politics. You can't.
Everybody.
You're going for the undecideds. That's who swings the votes every single election. It's the vote because the base gonna vote the way they're gonna vote. You go for the undecideds, man. Those are the folks that every election is geared towards, man. You don't worry about the base. Why you gonna fuck with the base? Why? That's like ice skating uphill, man. That's not gonna get you nowhere. Okay? All right? You go for the people who are on the fence. That's who you need to convince. And that's how politics works, man. Come on. It's like why don't you go campaign in North Dakota when North Dakota is 95% Republican and you're a Democrat? Why?
Well, because you do that because what happens is the same thing that happened with Hillary. When Hillary was like, I'm not going to campaign in wherever it was. And then they were like, we didn't vote for her because she didn't come here.
Once again, man. Once again, like I said before, man, everybody just assumed that Hillary's going to win. Everybody assumed it. And anybody say that they assumed that Trump's going to win is a fucking liar. Everybody assumed that the election was going to be a formality. That's what kept folks away from the polls. Not Hillary coming through on a fucking bus waving at us. No, that shit has minimal impact. It might look good for the cameras. That shit has minimal impact. All right. You vote. Every election hangs on the undecideds. Okay. Like if you go to a political rally or whatever, you go to or whatever. I mean, they never focus on folks in the front. Those are the diehards. You focus on the folks who are in the back of the crowd. Those are undecideds. Those are the folks when you canvassing at a rally or whatever. Those are the folks that you go to. Okay, you don't go and poll folks at the front of the stage. Why? You already know what they're gonna say. You poll the folks near the back, because those were the undecideds roost. Okay, that's how this shit works, man.
Well, I think you have a lot more faith than I do.
All I'm saying is, man, I was right in 20, so I'm gonna be right in 2024. I was on that hill by myself saying it, because I remember on election day, folks calling me, oh no, man, Trump might win. I'm like, man, stop worrying. This shit is a wrap. And I was right.
It wasn't as easy as that, though.
Yeah, it was. Me personally, I just had 100% confidence. Once again, I didn't even watch the results on election night.
Well, I watched the results every day until the actual final result came through, and it was looking pretty iffy there. So
like I just knew, I just had that confidence, man. Cause like I said, I probably woke up about 2:00 in the morning, on election night or whatever, right? And I checked Facebook or whatever, see what was going on, and I saw everybody say, "Oh, Biden's gonna win." Okay, I went back to sleep.
So you didn't see where Trump came on at 2:00?
No.
He said, "I won."
No. I didn't know about. I didn't find out about none of that shit until the next day.
Because that was scary.
No, I wasn't caring. Like I said, I went back to sleep. I was just that confident, though. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but that's just me.
Okay.
But once again, folks, you out there listening, now we're 2 hours and 47 minutes in. Time to wrap this shit up.
Right.
We're talking about cancel culture and wind up talking about politics, but that always happens anyway. So
cancel culture is political, so
it's very much political, very much political. So if you're out there listening, what are your thoughts on cancel culture and everything that we talked about after the cancel culture when it comes to the election and all that good shit? Chime in below. Let me know. Once again, I'm back. I know once again my shows are not as frequent as I need them to be, but once again, hey, I got a life to live, and I try to do as much as I can when I can, and I will be back, and I'm not going anywhere, but I'll just do what I can when I can do it. So please subscribe, comments, sign up for notifications. You can check me out, whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. Hit me up. I'm gonna restart my Patreon presence, so hopefully I can get some support. Patreon as well. So all that being said, you got anything else you want to add, man, before I sign off?
Nope. Gotta go eat some pizza.
All right, go eat some pizza, man, and I appreciate everybody listening, and I appreciate everybody giving me your opportunity to share my rhetoric with you. So now, time for you to hit me back and tell me what you think, because damn it, you just heard what Lonzo thinks.